because I had a Dolus on my actual parlay.
See, should have gone with your gut, man. Should have gone with what you said to the fatties.
I had Wyatt on there. It's just, you can't hit more than one leg.
You need to get you were feeling
Dolus
some
and
type of way.
Who both went hitless.
Yeah, no, it wasn't great. It wasn't great. Speaking of going hitless, stop me if you've heard this before. Marcus Semien. Wah, 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 wah.
That was pretty good.
Any guess on what he's batting right now?
Okay, so he was 105 last time we talked?
That's correct. Which was last night.
Last night, and he went 0 for 4. I'm not good at percentages. I'm guessing it's below 100 now. So I'm going to go...
Give me a number.
If I knew the percentages,
just get your guess at this point.
92.
92. All right. Khaki Kev and Alex Salas, since he's here too. Give me what you guys think Marcus Semien is batting right now.
Show his belly again.
He's showing his belly again.
Marcus Semien's batting average right now.
What do you guys think his batting average is? And would it fit in Alex's gut?
Are we going to get an answer?
Are you guys,
what are we doing?
What are you guys doing back there?
Give me 200 flat.
No, bro. No.
Has he not been?
He's not paying attention. He's too busy talking about his.
I'm literally doing everything else.
What? Alex Salas, what do you think Marcus Semien's batting?
I said 200 flat.
I can't take this guy seriously right now. What do you think Marcus Semien's batting right now? If you had to guess.
Do they realize no one can see them as they're sitting there thinking?
He doesn't care.
120.
120. Okay.
Neither of these guys. Neither of these guys have tuned into the last 2 days of the show.
Neither are fatties. Kind of a heartbreaker, if I do say so myself. From the 817, you said Adolis was going to suck. Also, that might have been me. He might have been referring to me because I have been very skeptical of Adolis. Point is this: 0.87. 0.87.
870, or is there a zero in between the 8 and the point?
870. We wish Marcus Semien was batting 870 right now. No, it's 0.087 is what our boy's batting right now.
Yeah, you're almost there, Cac.
Trying to be optimistic.
That is rough, dude.
I'm guessing he's the lowest on the team. I'll double check that.
Oh yeah, no, he's absolutely the lowest on the team now.
With probably at least 5 plate appearances.
You'd be surprised. So not far behind him is Josh Smith. Who's batting 100.
But he's in and out of the lineup, utility guy. I'm not mad at him.
Yeah, but he's still well. But you got to remember, he's played at least 3 or 4 games, though. It's not like he hasn't had some at-bats.
Josh Smith. Why is it only showing me 5 players?
Let's see here.
Jock Peterson's batting 133.
Right now, our boy Josh Smith is 1 for 10 at the plate. So...
Jock is 6 for 15. Berger 6 for 20. Seager's batting 176.
I was going to say
that's kind of the line of cut of Seager's 176, but below that.
Seager's giving you nothing so far. Jock Peterson's giving you nothing so far. He's at 133. Like you said, Berger's at 150. Outside of that home run, he really hasn't done much. We just mentioned Josh Smith and everybody's favorite center fielder, Leody Taveras, who was my shocking pick to do something tremendous today. 0 for 4. He's now batting a robust 188.
Leody.
Yep. So, look, it hasn't been great. And the one thing about our guy, Bruce Bochy, and I love this guy's resilience. I love his persistence, and I love his positive energy. He just continues to say, and I get it. Big bat's going to come around.
Who's leading the team in hits right now?
Oh, it's got to be Wyatt.
Yep. Wyatt with 7, and second should be pretty easy as well. Mr. Extra Base himself.
It's got to be Adolis, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then sitting behind him is Schottenheimer with 4, and then got a couple guys at 3.
2 of those hits were on opening day game 2.
Yeah.
And that's been
his
pretty much
day.
it. So, yeah, his opening day. So,
you got a guy in Higgy who's only been in 3 games with more hits than Marcus Semien and Jock.
Yeah. No, it's a rough go.
Actually, the same amount, excuse me. They all have 2. The ones I just listed. But yeah, the bats is something that definitely needs to come alive right now. The pitching, I talked to Fred about this when we talked earlier today. I said, having a positive outlook, and which is what I'm going to do. So I don't want y'all to think it's going to turn negative. The pitching is such a plus right now because there was a lot of questions with health, how guys are going to come out of the gate. You can talk about Malley. You can talk about Rocker not performing well, and those are valid. But to say that you've had 3 of maybe the best pitching outings in Major League this year, I think is something to feel pretty good about. DeGrom looking flawless in his first spot, and obviously you know the caliber of pitcher he can be, so you got to feel good about him. Hey, if we needed to throw him out there in a 1-game series or at the start off a playoff series, you feel good. It's 1 game.
That's
but
it.
I'm just saying, from what we've seen with our eyeballs so far, you're trending in a positive direction. We obviously saw what Nathan Eovaldi's capable of, and you know what he's capable of. So that's 2 guys. And then Jack Leiter tomorrow, who was my pick for the year. I'm high on him putting it together this year. He looked really good in his first start. We'll see what he looks like in his second start. But if he goes out and plays well and gets through 6 innings, doesn't let up any more than 2 earned runs, I think you got to feel very, very, very optimistic about the Texas Rangers rotation and starting rotation. The bats have to come alive at some point. The good part is the meat of your lineup in a Wyatt and in a Adolis have been producing. Your 3-4 or sometimes 5. With Berger or Peterson slipping in there. So and they've been contributing where they can. I'm not that worried on the bats. They do not look good. Do not get it twisted. No. But I'm not hitting the panic button as to, man, this team can't win the AL because of how the bats look. Look at the Yankees. We knew the Yankees were probably going to be a better hitting team coming this year. You're hoping you can put it together throughout the season, get some continuity. So I'm still, if a 10 is we're winning the World Series, I'm still at like a 9. I still feel very good because at the end of the day, I think good pitching wins over good hitting. And now you're showing to have 3 really, really, really good pitchers right now.
Well, no, and I don't disagree as far as the pitching is concerned. And I was more concerned about the bullpen. Again, you got a little bit of a stopgap today with Eovaldi doing what he did today,
nice.
which was right on time. And again, I was talking to our boy Bitter Mike Babbo, who we had on the program Saturday, and we got into it a little bit as far as like, what's your concern level? And he said, look, you definitely would like to see a little more pop out of these guys, but, again, give it another month and a half, and then kind of let's see where this baseball team is at. I mean, look, the Red Sox are a good baseball team, all right? Brady Singer gave you trouble yesterday, so then, of course, today, outside of Langford's early home run, then the rest of your bats went cold. So, which, we can only use the whole still early for about another month, and then at that point we need to see. There's got to be an explosion at some point. Like we haven't seen that.
They haven't scored more than 4 runs in a game.
Crooked run, that crooked run inning yet, and I feel like that's what this team's kind of waiting on a little bit, right? Is that you just need. I mean, and again, we're spring training guys. It wasn't like guys were lighting up the scoreboard as well. I mean, look, Wyatt Langford, and really he's kind of continued in, but it's like you and I were talking about the other day. The top half of this order has not been great. It's actually been more the bottom half of the order, although, again, today really was the entire group that was non-existent. But, again, it's Adolis has shown I think you're getting
Adolis got some
cuts.
Juice, too.
Yeah,
Adolis, all
that's
of the
what
ones,
I'm saying, right? He's hitting the ball hard.
I think, was it like out of his last 12 or 10 or 12
he hit the ball
played
the third hardest he ever hit the other day or whatever it
they're
was,
all
right?
at 98 exit velocity, so he's hitting the ball hard even when it's in play. And then we know Wyatt, his are a little bit more scrapers, if you will.
Yeah.
But he's still hitting the ball really well. So like I said, leading the team in hits with 7. So I think a lot of those guys are put in together. But Adolis, you got to feel good about. Wyatt, you got to feel good about. I'm still feeling pretty good about Jake Berger, who's batting 150 right now, 227 slugging. I think he'll pick it up. Corey Seager, 176, 5 of 17 on the year. Or excuse me, 23 plate appearances and 3 hits.
We'll take a look, and we might get into this later on the show. If we don't, we'll definitely dive into it a little bit more tomorrow because we do have a standard show tomorrow. We are on 7 to 11 both Wednesday and Thursday night, and then, of course, Friday night. What is it? Tampa Bay Devil Rays are coming to town. I want to say there's well, you're a Golden Chick guy.
A promotion or something?
Yes. I don't know. What's the black winged thing? The Pagle? You guys know what I'm talking about?
Wow. That's how you described it?
Pagle.
The Pagle?
Yeah. What is it?
Pagle bobblehead.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you asking?
No, there's a Pagle bobblehead giveaway like Friday or Saturday.
Have you never heard of the Pagle?
I just heard of it today for the first time.
Wow.
Last year, the Pagle.
What is it?
I'm gonna let the fan text answer.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're Mr. Golden Chick, so
it has nothing to do with Golden Chick.
Well, they're the ones doing the giveaway.
The Pagle originated has nothing to do with Golden Chick. They might be doing the giveaway, but it's not like a Pagle.
So it's not their mascot,
a chicken.
It's a dog.
Well, I mean, I thought maybe maybe he's protecting the chickens.
How much time do we have left in the segment? When do we get out of here?
What is a Pagle? I mean, you act like, I mean, do you even know what a Pagle is? Do you know what a Pagle is?
Yes.
Because I'm not convinced you know what a Pagle is.
You think this is the first time hearing about this right now?
It sure seems like it. I mean, you're stonewalling me right now. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm making it clear.
I'm disappointed.
And the fact that it's Golden Chick putting it on, I thought, oh, my Golden Chick confidant over here.
Enthusiast. I like
should be able to enlighten me as to what this is.
Well, Golden Chick is no correlation other than doing the giveaway, so that threw me off. So me being a Golden Chick correspondent has nothing to do with me answering your Pagle question.
Well, I thought maybe the two were connected. How about that? All right, so that's all you had to say was no, it's not. But here's the thing about the Pagle. What?
I'm good.
You see,
I'm going to hold the information. You don't have to.
I'm not convinced you know.
You don't have to.
I'm not convinced you know.
The text line will let you know. And about, I don't know. Yep, they're already blown it up.
T minus. Mm-hmm. T minus. Mm-hmm. What the hell's a Pagle?
Wow, dude. Now you're mocking them?
I don't know what it is. You haven't told me. You won't tell me.
I won't.
Like you've got like you're hiding some sort of top secret information over here.
You know what's funny? I did watch a show for the last 2 hours about holding a secret. I'll let you know what that secret is, how it plays.
I'm over you, bro. I'm over you right now.
I'm about to tease us into the next segment. We
got a Yaditsa update as well that we need to get to.
What show did Blake watch that had to do with keeping secrets? Your Yaritza update, and it's going to break the bank, if you know what I'm talking about. And all things Dallas Cowboys next on the Fan After Dark.
Coming up Wednesday morning on Sean and RJ, did the Rangers get even with the Reds? It's a Meet Church Wednesday with Matt Pittman at 8:20 and another concert ticket giveaway during the commercial.
o'clock, and that's usually when the show starts. Actually, it's not even really when the show starts. So let's call it what it is.
The show starts when it wants to.
It is a TBD type of show.
The show has a mind of its own. Fan After Dark is above us now, Fred. Hope you realize that.
As far as
we started Fan After Dark, yes, see,
we did,
but
we did. From
the different hours that Fan After Dark comes on, there's been other people on Fan After Dark. It's not like we've done every episode since it's been Fan After Dark. So I think Fan After Dark is above us now. We're
99% of it.
We're just a recipient of Fan After Dark now. It is now no longer Fred and Blake. It is just its own entity, you know?
Well, there is that, yes. But I'd like to think that we kind of,
No, we're the co-founders.
We're the drivers, if you will, of Fan After Dark.
I would agree.
Take that for what it's worth. But from a time perspective, okay, because of the Rangers, and we've said this, and look, for all the fatties out there, and I'll tell you what, I saw the text message like an hour and a half ago, and somebody said, what the heck's on the show right now? This is not fatty material or something like that.
They're listening to Infinity.
I think they were listening to Infinity, exactly. Now, the weird thing is I was on the Odyssey app yesterday, and it just kept playing the baseball game. So
That's good content. That's good content.
Look, I don't know if it's supposed to. I'm just telling you what happened, all right? So if you got a problem with that, talk to the Odyssey people. But new CEO, by the way, for those of you scoring at home, but I know nobody cares. We'll continue on.
Just a new CEO got an email about it today. Blake's elevator badge.
Quite a bit ago.
Actually, the
new CEO did not happen yesterday, Fred.
What's that? Well, no, she did officially announce that she's taking over.
You're in the Zoom meeting today.
Interim head coach took over.
I'm in there to see if I win any awards, and then when I don't,
we just want to congratulate Fred Davis of Fan After Dark for just being awesome.
I couldn't even forget that.
Here's a cookie.
You know what? No, I'll tell you what. They didn't even recognize my birthday. Okay, part-time people? No, we don't. We get no love.
You think I'll get one?
No, I doubt it.
I'm trying to think. I didn't get one. No,
you didn't get one in October, did you?
The one that just happened now.
Yeah.
No.
So then, more than likely, they won't get to give you one. Now
tough.
you'll probably win. Every standing room only ticket. I'm sitting there looking at it. I'm like, who is this David Elliott, and why does he keep winning every week? Who is this guy, and what's he do? What's he, an engineer?
Just tell my government out there. Thanks, Fred.
I didn't say it was you.
Let's look around the room.
Because we haven't called you Dave before.
No, you called me Dave. Fred is the only person I know that can quite literally entertain himself.
100%. I crashed out on a KU fan today on Twitter.
He just did it again. Neither of us said anything. He started laughing.
Well, I laughed
because
because my son, I showed him and he laughed at me.
You know what it is? I think Fred just has such a creative imagery in your head that you've already created the response. Me and Khaki Cab have already said, like, that was good.
It's already going. Because you know what? I'm also a big believer in it is that if I don't laugh, who will?
No, for sure.
Okay.
So that means you're going to do stand-up comedy. Go ahead and share with the people what you're doing this weekend. That means you're doing it. Let's go ahead and let's open Pandora's box. And then we'll get into
improv we were talking about?
Yeah.
That you randomly hit me with like 30 minutes ago. What? You don't remember saying that?
That's exactly what I said.
And he randomly throws it to me on a Tuesday at 8:45.
I don't think anybody knows what we're talking about.
Nobody does, and that's what makes it even better. Has anybody chimed in to let us know what the Pagle is?
Yes. Plenty. Do you want to read it, Cac, or do you want me to?
Yeah, you can read it.
Okay, so this is per the fan text.
So you can learn about it.
We'll let myself and Khaki Kev fact check this. From the 817, the Pagle was the staple of the World Series run, boys. Come on, I know what it is.
Oh,
972 Panther with wings. That's pretty much.
That's really what it is.
It's been the City Connect jersey, the one you said you like, the cream with the red.
The one from the other day that Jack Leiter wore on Friday? Yes.
That's the Pagle City Connect jersey. So that's the Pagle logo all over it.
Okay.
It's the mascot for the Rangers for the past few years. Shame, Fred. Someone said.
Well, I mean, look, I could. Would you guys rather me pretend like I know or
956, the Texas Rangers have an eagle on their logo because the Pagle, a mythical creature created by blending the mascots of the Dallas Eagles and Fort Worth Panthers and the style of the Eagles, is another nod to the team's history and region's culture. Now that, I'm not going to...
Next level. That's next level.
You might be
That's
right.
true. No, that's true. That is the exact reason.
That's next level.
Is that copy-pasted from TexasRangers.com? Okay.
Yeah,
pretty
much.
ChatGPT.
Okay. Someone said Pug and Beagle eat more chicken like Chick-fil-A.
What?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, this is a golden chick deal. If
It
I'm
has
not mistaken.
nothing to do with Golden Chick. Golden Chick
but I'm
is
just
a
saying.
sponsor of the
Well, you know what?
Rangers.
I'm putting the two and two together. Okay,
right.
You know what? Next time I go eat golden chick, which I've only eaten it once, I will rock the Pagle.
Last two texts. Surprise Fred Durst doesn't have a barbed wire tattoo.
Come on, man.
I'm also surprised.
Come on, dude. That was like.
I know what Fred looks like, and every time I don't see one, I'm just a shock.
You got to rub your eyes. Like, I know
Where
it's there.
is it?
I know it's
What?
there.
Because everybody in the 90s had
No, you give off barbed wire tattoo.
No, I don't give off barbed
Yes,
wire.
you do,
No,
Fred.
I
Come
don't.
on.
You can't deny
I
that.
don't.
The same way you say we can't deny characteristics, you can't deny this.
No, I can't.
We're both telling you. The text, me and Kak are all saying, nope.
Barbed wire tattoo.
Yep. Just the energy. It's hard to explain. Just it fits. People say stuff about me all the time. And then
Short
last
and
one.
white.
817, happy birthday to the both of you and Khaki Kev. Whenever your birthday is, bang, covered for 2025. Well, Fred's birthday just happened.
What does that mean? Bang covered for 2025.
He's already forgot the statements
He's
we were
just
talking about earlier.
celebrating that he got our birthdays down.
Remember we were talking about them not celebrating your birthday on the Odyssey email.
Oh yeah.
So he's being
But
nice.
see, you know what?
I mean, you already forgot about that conversation. I mean, it was
Where's the
in
glasses?
It was in this segment. It's not like it was last time. It was in this segment.
in this segment.
You said, I didn't get any happy birthday wish on the email. This guy says, happy birthday ahead of time. What's this guy talking about? I mean, what's this guy? This guy just randomly telling us happy birthday?
That's right. That's exactly right. That's exactly where I was going.
Okay, speaking of random things, Jerry Jones and Brian
He's so
Schottenheimer
So random.
talking to reporters. It looks like Jerry Jones is holding court, literally, with the suit and tie. Looks like he's running for Senate.
Which look.
All power to him.
Say what you want. Jerry always looks clean.
No, he looks clean. I'm saying he's got the suit on. The background didn't help. It looks very like government, federal.
Congressional.
Congressional is a great word in the background. So why don't you share with the people what Jerry Jones had to say, particularly what about Micah Parsons?
So he's essentially saying, and I've read 10 different things today as it pertains to that, but a couple different things he pointed out. One, when it comes to Micah Parsons, he's okay. And this is actually the actual. Okay, here we go. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones on Micah Parsons' contract situation. I don't view it as urgent at all.
Let's stop right there. Let's just break. I don't see it as urgent at all. So before we get to the rest of the quote, I think that would be alarming to hear, just off the rip. Now he's going to try his best to, patty cake it around and sandwich it in and make it sound good. But just that one statement alone, which could get clickbaited, made into a meme, made into a graphic, I have no concern at all. It's troubling, but continue with the quote.
But here's the thing, though. Are you surprised?
No, I'm not. If people are still surprised by the
Anything
stuff that Jerry says, good or bad, then I would say you're a little lost. Where you been?
Because here's my question. Are you even sure that you believe Jerry when he says that?
I don't know. Continue the quote.
All right. So he says, on waiting, I'd rather pay more and get it right. Okay. So that's that. That's number one. So I'll let you guys kind of.
When he did that, I'd rather pay more and get it right. He's saying, I don't want to get screwed over by a contract, paying a guy too early and he gets hurt or doesn't play well. But reading between the lines, I think that's a hard comprehension. I believe that's what he's saying. So
but that's such a, defeatist way to look at it.
Yeah.
Like, why are you paying anybody then? Man?
I think you have to be cautiously optimistic if you're a GM, but to say that blanket rule over everyone.
Well, you can see. You know what? You can say that when you're the owner. No GM outside of Jerry Jones will ever say that. I'd rather wait and pay more and get it right.
Yeah.
Like, what are you waiting for? Like, because what? Micah Parsons is suddenly going to be better? What Micah Parsons is after 4 seasons.
Even if you are just now tuning into the Cowboys, there's fans that have been fans for 30 years that have seen this kind of similar Jerry actions. There's people that have been fans the last 15, which is more what I'd fall into based on my age range. 10 years old when you start understanding what football is. And I understand that. And there's people that have just tuned in the last 5 years, and there's people like you who obviously knew who the Cowboys were.
Followed the Cowboys,
but have gotten closer.
Yes.
And I think
which is night and day, by the way.
Which I think even you would be able to say, with the limited amount of time you've been close to them, anything Jerry's saying of how his team has been ran, this is no surprise. We've seen him be a prove it deal kind of guy. Like, last year before that, how he does his contract. Like, this is all, the writing's been on the wall for how he's going to do business. I'm not paying guys early. I will do 1-year deals. I'll make guys wait. Now, did he make some of those mistakes early on? Yes, and we can start naming players left and right for when he signed early that it didn't work. And they seem to be stuck in their ways with, if it doesn't work one time, it'll never work.
Well, and that's
and you can't, or if it worked one time, it's always going to work. It's like there's some gray area.
There has to be, and
it's so black and white with them.
Look at the draft.
Mm-hmm. You're going to have misses.
Is that not at least with free agents, and oh, by the way, the guys in your own building, like, nobody knows Micah Parsons better than the Dallas Cowboys. Mm-hmm. So
all the stuff that we actually have questions about who he is off the field, they would know that better than anyone.
Of all the podcasts and all the rigmarole and whatever beef him and Tank Lawrence had behind the scenes, yada, 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 whatever. Like, for as much as we've heard snippets and whispers and the insiders and Bobby Belts and everybody else talking about what happened and what didn't, they know. Mm-hmm. Like, they know what happened. So you have a better gauge than anybody of what to expect from Micah Parsons.
Yeah, and if you're just waiting,
what are you waiting for?
I don't know if they're just waiting on that leadership to develop, and you're not still waiting on that. I would not think so. That's the only thing I can think of. Like, hey, we want to see if he's going to develop into this guy before we pay him big money. Maybe that's why they didn't sign him before this past season just happened. Now it's like, hey, it's your team. We feel like you're ready. And I feel like they are actively trying to do negotiations. They're not like pushing it to the back burner like we don't want to.
Well, now, according to them, they're trying to, even without the agent.
So apparently, I saw that Jerry said they are on agreement on principle of the contract.
Yeah.
And Jerry wants him to step up more as a leader. And then Micah's saying, I'm not going to sign this unless Mulligetta sees it first.
Well, of course. I mean, and Jerry, like, what fantasy world is Jerry Jones living in? Like, bro, this isn't the 1990s or the 80s where you could sit down, in a backroom deal. Yeah, at some, random barbecue joint in Fort Worth and get a deal done. Like, that's not how things work anymore.
Partners, come on, sign it.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
we don't have to get the agents involved.
You know what I mean? We're just two boys talking shop over here, huh? I mean, his agent's David Mulligetta. Yeah. The deal is he doesn't like David Mulligetta. I'll tell you what, I think there's
the moment Micah was even close to Jerry, David Mulligetta's sensors were going off.
He probably had him bugged. But here, I think two things are at play here. Because then Jerry went on to say, I don't even know the guy's name. Like, come on, Jerry, let's not be disrespectful here. But I think two things have happened, especially as it pertains to today. And we know Jerry sees and hears everything. I think when he saw that, and shout out to our boy Brandon Laurie from Blogging with the Boys, he's going to be joining us on Thursday, friend of the program. He tweeted out something yesterday, went viral, semi-viral, whatever the hell we're calling it these days. But it was Todd France basically saying, look, we took this thing down to the very end. The Cowboys didn't want to negotiate. They waited till the very last second. We basically, held them over a barrel, and boom, the deal got done. Which there's nothing flattering about the discussion as it pertains to how the Cowboys go about their business, right? Mm-hmm. So yesterday, 24 hours ago, we got a front page look at a behind the scenes of how Jerry and Steven operate.
I love technology.
And
I love social media,
and there's nothing shrewd about it.
Nope.
Okay? It wasn't like you came away from that going, damn, those guys drive a hard bargain. No. You damn near lost your quarterback, and then you paid out of the nose for it. Mm-hmm. All right? And they held you over the barrel.
And it's looked worse since you've paid.
And it's been an absolute disaster since you did it, and you've been basically beaten on every dotting every I and crossing every T. They beat you to it. Okay, like, you guys looked like the flaccid ones here, not Todd France and company. So take that, and now here we are 24 hours later. Yeah, there's probably a reason why Jerry's trying to negotiate without David Mulligetta. Because, they smell blood. You know how agents are. They smell blood in the water. And, look, we talked about this last week on this program. David Mulligetta's walking around with his chest out saying, look, I got Jimmy Haslam over here crying about how he swung and missed. Well, guess what? You still owe my guy $90 million, or however much it is.
Doesn't matter how bad I play. Doesn't matter if you don't like it. The fans hate it. I get paid and my player gets paid.
Did you see what Deshaun tweeted out? Like, something about how he doesn't hear the outside noise. Hear the outside noise or something like that.
Makes sense. Give me the Demarcus Lawrence before we get in.
Real quick. And, of course, the news broke, kind of broke. Well, no, the back and forth broke while you and I were on the air a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. So he had gone on and basically said...
Who's he?
Tank Lawrence, thank you. Dallas is my home, but I know for sure I'm not going to win a Super Bowl there, right? So everybody, oh, my God, all hell broke loose. So, from our girl Jory Epstein. When asked about this, Jerry Jones was effusive in his praise for Demarcus Lawrence.
Effusive, man?
He had a lot to say. He was very
I like that's a new word for me. I'm not even lying to you. That's a new word.
He was very over the top in how he was like, Tank's the best. This,
Adding
that,
that to the vocabulary.
Okay?
Effusive.
He was effusive in the praise for Demarcus Lawrence and the leadership he gave the Cowboys. Said these comments have zero influence on his desire to put DeMarcus in the Cowboys' Ring of Honor.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Tolos. Do you think Demarcus Lawrence should be in the Cowboys' Ring of Honor? 877-881-1053. Should Demarcus Lawrence be in the Cowboys' Ring of Honor? Text in yes, text in no. Give your reasoning if you wish. Off first glance, I would think no, considering the names that are in there and what they've done for your franchise. Is Demarcus Lawrence been a Dallas Cowboy for 11 years? Yes.
Isn't Charles Haley in the Ring of Honor?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, outside of being a black defensive end, does Demarcus Lawrence and Charles Haley have anything else in common? I mean,
how tall was Charles Haley?
I think Charles Haley, I think, is every bit of like 6'5".
Okay, Demarcus Lawrence 6'3".
He's a big dude. Haley's a big dude. Now he might have shrunk. He might be 6'3", 6'4" at this stage. But I like I said, I remember seeing him doing an interview with him a few years back, and he's a good sized dude.
4-time Pro Bowler, our boy D-Law, AP second team All Pro in 2017, and NFC Defensive Player of the Month in 2017.
Well, I mean, Player of the Month, that tells me all I need to know right there. I mean, look. Is he going to go down as a great Cowboy? Sure. But I'll defer to Cowboy fans.
Walter Payton Man of the Year in 2020.
Nominee.
So 4-time Pro Bowler, 1-time AP All-Pro second team.
Here's what I'm going to ask you guys. I'm going to ask this to the Tolos, Fatties, and anybody else who's listening to the program right now, whether you're listening. Oh, my God. Your boy is wilding. Your boy is wild.
But finish.
Was there ever a time this year that we said to ourselves defensively, man, I'm missing number 90 out there?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in the middle part of it, especially with the run game, because you had no good run defenders. Now, the run defense got better in like the last 6-7 games.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You said it right away after he was gone, because but the defense was crap. To start.
But no, he is not the difference maker where you're like, man, our team can no longer compete. Because
who did you feel a bigger loss of, Micah or Tank Lawrence?
Yeah, definitely Micah.
I mean, let's call it what it is. And again, I'm not, and I said this last couple weeks ago.
It's not really going at DeMarcus Lawrence. This is not what this segment is. It's not a slander of DeMarcus Lawrence.
Look, DeMarcus Lawrence, again, and I said this before, every NFL team has a Tank Lawrence.
And when you do awards like this, Hall of Fame, Ring of Honor, All Pro, there's got to be a line of demarcation. You got to get a little ruthless. You can't. I love all these guys that we're talking about.
I mean, the bar's been set pretty high, right?
But we can't just because we like the guy and the guy's been here and been a good leader, be like, he's in the Ring of Honor. Now, maybe I'm wrong. I'll read the fan text. Maybe they all think he should be in. We'll let you guys know that answer, as well as what Jerry Jones had to say in full, along with your head coach, Brian Schottenheimer. We'll be giving you all the audio from what the Dallas Cowboys have talked about in the last couple hours. Next on the Fan After Dark.
You may not think what we say is smart, but it's coming over a...
It's true that you've got to forget something else to remember that Uber Eats has groceries.
No, that's absurd. Hey, remember when you used to be what was it, Pepper Lady? Pepper Lady?
Wasn't it Cinnamon Sisters?
Basil babes.
Saffron Squad?
Nutmeg maidens?
Pre-curb?
No,
Nutmeg Maiden.
I just said that. Was it Spice Girls?
Doesn't sound right.
What was it, Saffron Squad?
With Frankel and Frankel, there is never an out-of-pocket cost. You only get paid when you win. Frankel and Frankel, D. Car and Truck Work Attorneys in Dallas.
Appreciate that. Khaki, Kevin Walker, Blake Elliott, Fred Davis here on The Fan. Fan After Dark, Texas Rangers edition. They win tonight 1-0. Nathan Eovaldi, shutout, third career shutout. And I'll tell you who's never shut out. The one, the only, Mr. Jerry Jones. We're going to play some of his audio. Of course, Jerry's never seen a microphone that he didn't like. And, of course, we've heard plenty from Stephen Jones. So now it's Jerry's time to jump behind the mic and wax poetic on all things Dallas Cowboys as we get ready to listen to a little bit of what he had to say. We'll get to that here in just a second.
We do got the responses from should Demarcus Lawrence be in the Ring of Honor.
Okay, what and they are?
Okay, here we go. I'm reading you guys' text. He's more of a tribal tattoo guy. Was the first one since I did that.
I mean, let's be real, man. Ain't nobody got no tribal or I don't know. Let me tell you something real quick. You ain't gonna see any Chinese characters on me. You're not going to see any tribal nonsense on me, and you're not going to see any. Yeah, you heard me. And you're not going to see any barbed wire. Okay, I've got a genie on my arm, for God's sakes. All right, that's older than both of you. Thank you very much.
Praying hands.
No praying hands.
No praying hands.
No praying hands.
With the little necklace in it.
No,
in
don't
between
have
the
that.
fingers.
Don't have that.
Okay.
Don't have that. Now, for all my real fatties, 40 and over fatties out there, if you know who Lisa Left Eye Lopez is, she and I shared a tattoo. So, for what that's worth.
Like
But
y'all
she
got
still-
it together?
Wouldn't she still have the tattoo?
me and Lisa Left Eye.
I
just
don't even
hanging
know
out.
who that is, so I don't know if y'all didn't. Fred, when are you going to stop realizing? When are you going to start realizing I don't know all the characters you grew up with in your life?
I mean, I guess
You
I
don't know
thought you might
85% of the
know-
characters
I
I grew
guess
up
I
with.
thought maybe you might know who Lisa Left Eye
Why?
Lopez is.
Why her?
Because she was part of arguably one of the biggest pop bands of the 90s and 2000s.
What was the name of the band?
TLC.
Okay, I've heard of TLC.
That
but
doesn't stand for the Learning Channel.
I didn't know.
Well, she might have been dead by the time. Well, you were born in 99?
Yeah.
No, she was dead by the time you
Nope.
grew up.
02.
Yep.
02.
So you never heard of her burning down Andre Rison's house?
No.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, so the
Well,
responses
now
to
you know.
should Demarcus Lawrence be in the Ring of Honor? We've got from the 817, Jerry wants a bigger boat. 940, no way. Another 940, hex no. 940, different one. Too prestigious of a club to put Demarcus Lawrence in there. 817, hex no, all caps. 214, hex no. Then they said he's going to put Demarcus Lawrence in the Ring of Honor, question mark. The only reason this guy has gone to Super Bowls is the owner because of Jimmy Johnson, excuse me. And it took him over 25 years to put Jimmy in the Ring of Honor. This franchise is not going to win. 214, can a white man dance? Question mark, no. 214, what? All with about 7 A's. Question mark. Exclamation mark. Question mark. Hex no. Nothing against Tank, but what he's done, now we're in quotations. Actually inside parentheses. Besides a good run stopper, question mark, and close quotes. Outside of his contract year, homie didn't sniff double-digit sacks. Now, I'm not a big fan of using that as a indicator if a guy was a good DN, but that's, your choice.
Doesn't hurt.
817, Haley and Lawrence number started with a 9. No. That's going to be Casey, C-A-C-Y, making an appearance.
Hey, wait. Which one?
C-A-C-Y.
Oh, CACY.
214.
Creeping in the racetrack parking lot.
Blank, no. D-Law shouldn't be in the Ring of Honor. His numbers don't support being there, and he's had backbiting comments about the Cowboys during negotiations. So no. D-Law, no Ring of Honor. No. If he retired as a Cowboy, then maybe. No. Not one. Hex no.
I mean, I don't think we've seen or heard one person say yes yet.
I'm seeing if we're going to get one. Nope. People are mentioning other people in there. Greg Ellis, Jim Jeffcoat had both more sacks than D-Law, and neither of them are in the Ring of Honor.
Oh.
Ed Too Tall Jones and Tony Tolbert had fewer, but barely played in a far more run first era, and that's just naming edge guys. Plenty of other Cowboys deserve it, including guys like Tony Romo over Demarcus Lawrence.
From the 817, that would have been, she was the waterfall girl, right? I can't remember who she was banging. Andre Rison. Continue.
How old are these two guys? 13 question mark. That's fine. That's keep them coming. And that would be like asking if Blake deserves to be in the 105 through the fan Ring of Honor. I don't know because I haven't been here 11 years. So I don't think that'd be
totally inaccurate. Yeah. Totally inaccurate.
That'd be like who's the second year guy on the Cowboys?
And you know what? I would argue you would merit inclusion.
Yeah.
How many, first of all, first question, how many of these fan phenoms have there been?
I don't know. I don't know the exact number.
Okay. That tells you all you know. Anybody memorable?
I don't know. Somewhat. Hopefully none of our hosts right now are listening to our.
I mean, think about it. I mean, G-Bag was not. I mean, nobody from G-Bag was a fan phenom.
No, not that I know.
Nobody from KNC was a fan phenom.
I know.
Nobody from we know RJ and Sean and
Bobby
Bell weren't fan phenoms. Okay, so nobody on the station besides you is a fan phenom, and we don't know of anybody. I mean, you would know better than I would.
Kevin Gray was a runner-up.
Kevin Gray was a runner-up.
And then they hired him, and he was great.
He's
still great.
And now he's doing the damn thing over at All City Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see why not you wouldn't merit inclusion in a Ring of Honor here at 105.
I'll take it. I'll take the thank you. I don't really know what to say to compliment. So
just a thank you is all that
thanks.
suffices.
Let's get to Khaki Kev. I want to thank him. for having this Jerry audio ready for us. I'm going to tee it up to you, Cac. You got a bunch of audio in front of us. Let the people know what Jerry Jones.
817 said, I bleeping said he should be there, but y'all don't want to read it.
Oh, I said it wrong? Oh, are you saying me or
no? He's
DeMarcus
saying
Lawrence?
that he should be there, but y'all didn't want to read it.
I mean, there was probably at least 200 texts I was skimming through. I apologize if I missed yours. There was one yes then.
There you go.
Okay, Khaki Kev, Jerry audio, what you got?
Yeah, so I got a ton of Jerry audio, and something else to think about is Jerry doesn't put anybody in the Ring of Honor that he's not in good kudos with. Think about that as well.
That's fair.
So, let's start with this one. We kind of talked about this one a little bit earlier as far as Jerry saying what he has and hasn't discussed with Micah yet.
Okay.
Let's start with this one.
Well, I know that I've spent 5-6 hours with him myself and had a lot of discussions. Most of the issues are in agreement on, and I've discussed it all. And so, but we obviously don't have an agreement relative to a new contract. Michael's under contract, and so we'll see how that goes. It's not uncommon for me to visit directly with players, and in this particular case, that's the way I'm doing it.
We need better Jerry audio. What was that? Was he talking in was it a cavern he was in? All right, we've got somebody on the D&M Leasing hotline. Is this the original fan phenom? Because we're still trying to figure this whole thing out.
Yeah, look, if you're going to invoke the name of Sean and RJ, I would just say don't exclude Bobby if we're talking about fan phenom.
I said you were the fan phenom. I said you were the fan phenom. I said that.
Well, I didn't. I know. I thought you were already a Cowboy insider. I thought that's how you.
Well, look, I mean, Fish tried his damnedest to get up to host level, and he never did. So, I still think that's phenomenal. So I think it at least warrants a mention, at least as an honorable mention, for sure. Blake, fan phenom, winning, sticking around, that deserves a lot of props. I'm just saying,
So who are we missing?
I should at least get a shout out when you're just going no one else will stick around.
I said it. Fred didn't say that.
Well,
you did. Fred did not. And
I also said I didn't think Bobby Belt was. I didn't say. See, I was giving you props because I thought it was just off your journalistic chops that you were brought in.
To
the fan.
No, Fred, come on. This is like the you spent too much time in Houston and Kansas City, and you lowered your standards for journalism. No, hell no. Okay, I had to catch up.
So wait a minute, you were a phenom. You did the fan phenom?
I mean, not technically, but that's beside the point.
I was just trying to give you your props. That's all.
Can Bobby list all the fan phenoms?
Oh yeah, no, I can 100% list all the fan phenoms. It was Blake Elliott, Sterling Daniels,
nice,
and the first one was Josh Stack.
There you go, 3 for 3.
Well, that's right.
No. Do you know the runner-ups?
Yeah.
Do you know all the runner-ups?
I said Bobby's a DEI hire.
Bro, come on. Come on now.
He's texting Rue tonight.
Hey, the two runner-ups the first two runner-ups ended up having significant careers.
They did.
It was Kevin Gray, who has gone on to do great things. My old weekend hosting partner.
Yes,
we did great shows together. And the very first fan phenom runner-up was Nick Angstadt from Locked On Mavericks.
Okay. That's your buddy from Locked On Mavs. That was the first fan phenom runner-up. Did you know that? That was one of the first things he said to me. He goes, "Oh, so I guess the runner-ups are the better ones out of the situation." And I said, "Nice to meet you, Nick Angstadt."
Be honest. Fred doesn't know who Nick Angstadt is, but
he actually does.
Yeah.
Well, I do now.
No, that doesn't count now.
No,
you don't get points after the fact.
No.
Someone said, "Bobby, are you working on your second diss track?" We did get that text in right now.
No, I'm working on my fifth shot. I think you can hear it in the way that my delivery is heading. So,
Thank
you, Kevin Walker.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to check in.
Thank you.
What's up, you boys? I was waiting for the wife. She jumped in the shower real quick while I was between shots, and so I was like, let me put on Fan After Dark. I'm a fatty. I'm also a fatty in terms of the Fan After Dark. Both of those.
There you go.
And so I was celebrating y'all's show,
Thank
and
you.
I wanted to chime in. That's all I wanted to do. And I encourage everyone else to chime in.
Fantastic.
That's what we love. Positivity.
Absolutely.
Positivity.
I tell you
Hopefully you have a tank top on right now. We're doing Tank Top Tuesday.
It's Tank
on the
Top
Fan
Tuesday. It's Tank Top Tuesday.
No, I'm shirtless, and I'm about to be pantless because, like I said, I've had 5 shots.
Okay. Well, Alex Salas has been shirtless as well. So, and you two have comparable body styles. So, love to see it.
There we go.
Love to see it. Thank you, Bobby Belt. Be careful tonight.
I love you all.
Love you all. There you have it. The one, the only, Mr. Bobby Belt. Chiming in.
If Bobby can chime in with wife and kids at home,
absolutely.
Then why can't you, listener? Maybe you do have a wife and kids.
Well, I mean,
Bobby Belt's probably doing a podcast right now. He's probably.
I mean, he's drinking.
No, he's probably live doing the podcast.
Bobby strikes me as a professional.
If you're Bobby, do you just always have a camera in the corner of your bedroom? And anytime you want to start recording, boom, you go. You can start recording.
In the corner of your bedroom.
What if your mind starts?
I mean, well, you know what? Hey, you know Bobby better than I do. All right, maybe that's.
No,
I mean,
I'm not saying like that. I'm saying like if he wants to record a podcast.
You saying Bobby's Tolo Go?
I gotta believe that Bobby's got a room for that.
Okay, maybe he's got a room. I'm just saying, but think about it. You're laying in bed. You have a thought. Oh, perfect idea for the Tolos for Sean and RJ in the morning and the Bobby.
Maybe just scribble it down on a piece of paper.
Paper's far away. Are you sleeping with paper in your stomach?
You can roll over and have it on your bedside table.
Or you can have a camera and you can just sit up. I'm Bobby Belt here with the 12th overall pick. The Cowboys should get this. It just came to me in a dream.
Preposterous. That's
Bobby strikes me as that
I think
guy.
Bobby is more of a tweeter than a camera guy.
I think he's both. I think he's multifaceted.
when
I'm not going to put him in a box. I'm not going to put Bobby in a box. You said he's more of a.
I just say because I follow
box.
Bobby and he's a very frequent tweeter, and it seems whenever things come to his mind, he tweets them.
I think he should start doing. I think Bobby should start doing more live videos, like a video recording when he's got a thought instead of tweeting it. Be different.
It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time before that comes out.
No more words. You got to audio hear it. So shout out to Bobby.
From the 903, Fred, go back to Beaumont and cover Lamar University and West Orange Stark.
Oh, you knew what WS stood for. Good job. I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah. No, that's apparently this is. I don't know if this is somebody that did like a deep dive on me to know that I used to cover those places. I don't know.
That's a compliment. Or somebody that actually knows you.
Is it?
No, it is. If someone takes their time out of their day to do a deep dive, I didn't take that as that negative.
Yeah.
Then that means
go back to Beaumont.
I'd be scared.
I mean, that's kind of the first. I mean, if I said, "Hey, Blake, go back to North Texas and do weekend radio," you'd probably take that a bit.
Well, you only take it bad if it has some truth and it has no truth. So I take it as.
Like I said, I'm actually more taken aback by the fact that this guy knew that I covered Lamar and West Orange Stark once upon a time.
Shout out to them for being a fatty.
There you have it from the 903.
Okay, so I know our Jerry audio got a little interrupted, so we're going to do this. We're going to do Jerry audio. We're going to do Schottenheimer audio. You're going to get the best of both worlds.
Let's do in this segment here, all right? And let's do some more of the Jerry audio. Let's see if we can get like 2 clips where we can actually hear what the hell he's saying. We got plenty of the Tim McMahon stuff to get into as well. We'll do a little NBA after dark, a little NFL after dark. We got some fair or foul to get into. So much to get to, but when we come back, let's hear what Jerry had to say about this offseason and what he's going to do, or if he's got some ideas about the draft. Lots to get to. Don't you go anywhere. This is the Fan After Dark.
Is your financial advisor offering you
Uber Eats has Lola V products? I gotta remember that.
Well, you know, they say in order to remember something, you have to forget something else. Okay, now that is a very cute haircut. That's like a little shag. I've never seen it before. Well, I mean, of course you have. It's the Rachel. Oh, is that your name? No, I mean like your name. No, I'm Jen. My name's Jen. Right, but I just mean like this is your haircut. But that's hair on your head. I'm not saying this is your hair. Okay.
Back to the Fan After Dark on 105.3 The Fan. This segment is brought to you by Classic Chevrolet in Grapevine. If you're in the market to upgrade your vehicle, get to Classic Chevrolet in Grapevine, back-to-back #1 Chevy dealership in the world. They've got more new Chevys than anyone, all priced to sell. Silverado, Tahoe, Blazers, Malibus, Equinox, and more. Visit ClassicChevrolet.com. This is Texas. This is Classic Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. Relax and enjoy the difference based on new Chevy registrations 2023 and 2024.
Appreciate that, Mr. Khaki Kev from the 903. I'm proud of my school kicking Dan Hooks' WOS Mustangs asses when I was coaching. So there you have it. We got a little, well, that's okay, so Tim and Carthage. Oh, yeah, that was him. That's right. He did send that. So from Jasper, Texas. And I told him, I said, bro, I got stories about Jasper, Texas, and that's all I'm going to say on that one. Glad to have you guys on board on a Rangers Victory Tuesday. What a day to be a Texas Ranger. Nathan Eovaldi ballin' out there today. Complete game, shutout, 4 hits, 8 Ks, 9 innings, and all under 100 pitches. Bats left a lot to be desired. We're not going to get too much into that. I mean,
it's okay. Torpedo bats are coming.
What can you say that hasn't already been said?
Bochy already said they're on their way.
He did say that. He did say that he doesn't blame anybody for wanting to use one or for wanting to try it. You still got to hit the ball.
I think he said he wanted to use one for fungo.
I mean, I don't blame it. You know, I wouldn't mind taking a swing at it with a torpedo bat. Why not?
Blake, do you know what fungo is?
Fungo? I do not.
Okay.
What is it?
So fungo is it's a specific kind of bat that you use. It actually kind of does look like a torpedo bat, but fungo is typically whenever a coach just hits batting practice, but to fielders. It's just a specific kind of bat. It's a little bit longer.
Sorry, I got like a lot going on right now. The fire alarm's going off again at the house.
Never a dull moment for you.
I got my group chat of family members texting me some important stuff. So I'm trying to lock in.
Kelly Campbell just signed a 1-year deal with the Cardinals.
Who?
Calais Campbell.
Calais Campbell. You think I think Kelly Campbell.
Calais.
Calais.
Calais. Kellis. Does his milkshake bring all the boys to the yard? That's the real question.
No. I did not think that question was going to come.
Maybe for Arizona.
Maybe. Fire Nico from the 903.
Audio, Khaki Cat, what you got for us?
Yeah, so getting back to the Jerry audio, hopefully y'all can actually hear it this time. We're going to start with this one, which has really been the main talking point of today.
Not really. Are you kidding me? That's just not something that you should worry about. You should be worrying about your ability to make it work, and you should be worried about what the player does. Does he have good enough health? Does he have enough skill to do what you're paying him the money for? The agent is not a factor here, or something to worry about. And I don't know his name. And so my point is that I'm not trying to demean him in any way, but this isn't about an agent. The agent doesn't have one thing to do with what we're doing when we get on a football field against a team. Micah does. To the degree I'm involved, I do. The people that have something to do with what we do going forward relative to our fans in football are me and the player, not the agent. And I'm not demeaning the agent. I'm just saying anybody can do this, and that's talk directly to a player. And frankly, most people that negotiate me will tell you that they were better off than negotiating with anybody, Stephen or anybody involved. So this is not uncommon. I've fished directly with as far back as Emmett, Dion, and we, by the way, maintained a relationship that lasted well after their playing days.
That was your owner, Jerry Jones, speaking about all things Dallas Cowboys. The first thing you hear in that is him talking about how he wants to spread out things with the Dallas Cowboys, and I don't know. It feels like a little bit of fluff from Jerry Jones. Obviously, speaking all things about the Dallas Cowboys. Did you gain much from that audio? Did you have a new juxtaposition on how you feel about the Cowboys offseason now that you've heard that?
No, it's Jerry. I think it's in direct response to the Todd France stuff from the day before.
Shout out to everyone inside the Cowboys organization and going different ways.
I mean, I really think that was
Someone
Jerry.
said, yeah, that was confusing.
Jerry was kind of all over the place when he talked about that. But no, I think that had more to do with Jerry being upset that he got aired out publicly yesterday and not in and his negotiating tactic was, I mean, again, Todd France basically said, he threw his on the table and said, guess what? Either you're going to sign our guy or we're walking. And we're going to play our year out on this contract, and that's going to be it. And again, as we said already, they kind of put Jerry and the team over a barrel, and that's exactly what they did. And Jerry, being the, buckaroo that he is, the swashbuckling, I'm glory hole, and, I'll pay more money and I'll do this. Okay, that's cool, Jerry, but you know what? You're getting hustled. Being the guy that takes risks, and we get it. You were a hustler, and you did all these magnificent things 35 years ago, okay? You have not evolved with the times, okay? You've lost a little off your fastball, all right? And it shows. And when you do these meandering, nonsensical press bits where we're sitting there 2 minutes later and saying to ourselves, I don't know what I just heard. That's not that doesn't help anybody.
What else? What other audio do we got? KKK?
Yeah, so this one's real quick. It just talks about Jerry and his relationship with Micah.
Man, that was quick.
That has my Super Bowl number. Has my cell phone number. He asked for it about a month ago and said, I want to be able to talk to you at any time. And I said, Michael, you're one of the few, but we'll talk anytime. Call me.
So he said he's got a Super Bowl number.
First he had he's got a Super Bowl number, but then
always think about Super Bowls, Jerry is.
And then he said he's got my cell phone number a month ago. That's when he got.
He asked him for it a month ago.
That's now their besties. Now they get steak dinners every night.
Well, apparently it sounds like they text and talk a lot.
So he's one of the few.
One of the few people. Now, on the flip side of that, how many guys are coming up to him and saying, Jerry, let me get them digits?
Yeah. You think
most guys
Marshawn Nealon's walking up saying that, Mozzie?
Most players.
Let's say if there's 10 players on the Cowboys that have his number, who do we think those 10 are?
Dak.
Okay, of course.
Micah.
Of course. CD.
Zeke, even though he's not a Cowboy anymore.
CD for sure.
I could see Jake Ferguson having
it. But I could see, of course you could. Jerry probably gave it to him.
You know who does? Everybody on special teams.
What, have Jerry's number?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't feel like
signed first.
But I just maybe like a Brian Anger. I could see Anger.
Jerry don't give a damn about no punter. Jerry could give two.
Brandon Aubrey definitely got it.
I'll tell you, Brandon. Now I can see Brandon Aubrey.
Okay, so what do we got to 5?
So Aubrey, Dak. See, I don't. You know what? We say CD.
I don't think CD
doesn't care.
Just give it to my agent. I don't
CD
care.
just wants to play football.
Yeah.
All CD wants to do is play football.
Does anybody in the receiver room have it? Tolbert
wants it.
Jerry's
Tolbert wants it. Now I'll tell you who. I bet Brandon Cooks got it before he left.
Yeah,
he's a savvy businessman. I guarantee you, he's got it before he left.
Who's got it on the D line?
Nobody,
other than Micah.
Nobody.
D-Law lost it.
D-Law had it, but then he blocked him. He's blocked for right now. He may be able to get it back.
So they're not 10 guys, we don't think? Anybody in the secondary?
Absolutely not. Dude,
Diggs?
look.
Diggs doesn't have it. I can see Bland having it. Bland's all business.
Yeah. Look, I promise you, if you even threw in the coaching staff, you ain't gonna find 10 people that have Jerry Jones' phone number.
So we're gonna go through Steve.
No Donovan Wilson, no Malik Hooker.
Malik ain't trying to talk to Jerry Jones.
It's actually funny that y'all mentioned that, because regarding the conversation around David Mulligetta, I did want to look up what athletes he represents. Quite a few Cowboys, actually.
How many does he have?
So from what I can tell, and tell those texts in if I've got it wrong, because I'm looking at SpoTrack right now, and they have a couple of different agents listed. So maybe multiple athletes have different agents. I'm not entirely sure, but from what I can tell, it looks like, let's see, Andrew Booth.
There you go.
Mulligetta.
He does not have Jerry's number.
Well, no, we're not talking about Jerry's number anymore.
I agree.
Looks like Malik Hooker also has Mulligetta.
Okay.
It looks like at one point Damone Clark had Mulligetta. So he's definitely had to deal with him in the past.
Yeah, no. I mean, exactly, it's ridiculous. I mean, again, that's why he's doing the whole, I don't even know his name. No, that's you doubling down because, again, you're mad. That rant, and that's about as ranty as Jerry gets these days, but that was directed at yesterday. Mm-hmm. Or the Todd France, whenever that. I mean, we know Brandon Laurie posted it for us yesterday.
Was that the long snapper? Who's the long snapper's name? What's his name?
Oh, I can't remember.
Come on, not ball.
Trent Sieg.
There we go.
I was going to say Sieg.
That's correct.
I was going to say Sieg.
So we only got to 5 players?
I always get Sieg and Nick Vigil confused.
We only got to 5 players to have Jerry's number?
Oh, Jason Witten for sure.
But not on the team.
No, we're talking about current
someone said
Cowboys.
Zach Martin. He's not on the team.
Yeah, no, he's not on the team anymore. Current mate, no.
Anybody on the O-line?
No. Because Tyler Smith would be the only person you'd give it to, and he don't care.
2.5 years. I don't know.
Well, and he's not. I mean, he's
Terrence Steele?
Nobody on the O-line. I don't think anyone on the O-line.
No, I mean, it would have been Zach Martin. That's it. Because who's Jerry? I mean, it's not like you're not going to ask for the coach's number.
That's not
or the player or the owner's number.
Ooh, Osa from the 903. I could see Osa.
I don't know. It's too soon.
He's letting his agent handle that. Let him. I'll tell you what. He needs to ball. I'll tell you what. Let's see what he does now that Jerry's paid him. Let's see what he does.
Do you think that's part of the contract incentive? You get my phone number if you do well.
Vaughn?
Look, Deuce Vaughn's just happy to be on the team right now.
Well, his dad. Yeah.
He's just happy. Yeah, he
stole it from his dad's phone.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's over there porting contacts from his dad. All right,
I'll take that. DK Metcalf,
JJ the boss man. Oh, I wonder who that could be. New phone. Who dis?
What do you think about giving Deuce some more playing time?
That's right.
Think about Deuce getting some more carries.
My burner phone. All right, 1 hour in the books, boys and girls. Brian Schottenheimer. Does anybody do a better job of answering his own questions than Brian Schottenheimer? Because he's at it again. Lots to get to in hour number 2. Don't go anywhere.
The Fan is on YouTube, Twitch, Smart.
You've got to forget something else to remember that Uber Eats has groceries.
Nah, that's absurd. Hey, remember when you used to be what was it? Pepper Lady. Pepper Lady?
Wasn't it Cinnamon Sisters?
Hazel Baby.
Sapphire Squad?
Nutmeg Maidens?
Pre-curve?
No.
Nutmeg Maidens.
I just said that. Was it Spice Girls?
Doesn't sound right.
Was it Saffron Squad?
The Tank Top Tuesday, boys and girls.
Usually this means we got an hour left, but the show's just starting, baby.
Man, we're
Get the guns out.
just getting warmed up. Huh? How about that?
Short and
Davis.
fat, baby. The short and fat crew.
The short and fat crew, Blake Elliott, Fred Davis, Khaki Kevin Walker, Behind the Glass. Update, by the way. Got a couple. Let's do a little house cleaning here before we dive into Brian Schottenheimer answering his own questions, which I'm a fan of. Let me make that clear, okay? We've got two fatties, friends of the program, Yaritza, Daddy Walker.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Let's get to Daddy Walker first. Daddy Walker, we need some soft music here because right now his balls are feeling a little soft. What do I mean by that? Glad you asked. Just getting in Brian Schottenheimer mode. A vasectomy. Okay? I want to give a shout out, and he cleared this with Khaki Kev before we talked about this.
Did he clear you to say it like this?
Absolutely. Well, he didn't know I was going to say it like that, but, what are the way
Did he run this monologue by you?
No, off the top. First off, my hat's off.
He knew what he was doing when he
to
said
Daddy
yes.
Walker, number one. Okay? Ballsy, and I do mean that, pun intended, my age-ish, to be getting a vasectomy. My man thinking he's still firing live rounds.
Wow.
Okay? That's number one.
It's going to be a roast session.
What's that? No, it's not a roast. I'm saying, the fact that you're getting a vasectomy at this age tells me you're still firing live rounds. And, hey, let's better be safe than sorry, if you know what I mean. How many kids how many siblings you got?
I got one sibling.
That's it?
Yep.
For some reason, I thought you had more.
No.
Just your brother?
Yes.
Yes.
I have a story behind it, but I'm not going to share it. I'm not going to share it online.
I felt like there was. Is there one that showed up at a fire station?
No, there's a little bit of story behind it, but I don't want to share it over the air.
No, it's fine. I get it. So look, I would never get a vasectomy. I've heard too many wild stories about vasectomy. Now look, I'm done having kids. Okay, done. But I've heard you have less control, and I'll just leave it at that. I'm leaving it at that. So take that for what it's worth.
I don't really know how to input myself into this conversation, but
do you know what a vasectomy is?
I do. I feel. I mean, we're talking about Khaki Kev's dad getting a vasectomy. I don't really. Yeah. I'm happy for him. Props.
I think I
didn't know what to say. I was like, all right, Dad.
I say congratulations. That's what I say. That's what I mean. You guys
just made fun.
You guys are missing the boat on this, guys. Let's be honest. Your dad. I'm 44. What's your dad? 47, 48? A couple years older than me.
He's 50.
Okay, whatever. Same thing. 50 years old, needing to get a vasectomy. That's a bell ring right there.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a bell ring right there. All right. Firing live rounds. Let's go ahead and muzzle this bad boy. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying?
Wow.
Okay, that's number one.
So
air high five, bell ring, Daddy Walker.
He went to the same place that one of the morning guys went to.
Was it Choppy?
They
got a vasectomy? I think it was.
So
that's also a good name of a vasectomy shop, Choppy.
What a great. They
should sponsor.
Sean's still, two kids?
Yeah.
He's still hammering out more?
They should have a program. Do you want to get the Choppy? Known by one RJ
yeah,
Choppy.
That's tough, though. I would say Choppy versus because you're really not chopping anything, you're snipping it.
Okay. To be technical, yes, Fred, you're correct.
I don't know, man.
Just going off the guy's name.
I get it.
Not RJ.
Calling it getting the chop might steer some people away.
RJ Snippy, doesn't really roll off the tongue.
No, it doesn't. But at the same time, too, a place that their focus is your genitalia. Hey, get the Choppy special.
Okay, the Snippy doesn't sound much better. It's not like Snip is seamless.
The Snippy sounds a whole lot better than the Choppy.
What do you guys think? I think they were smart.
877-881-1053. If I'm doing a vasectomy special, do you want the Choppy or do you want the Snippy?
Okay, the Snippy sounds better. I'm agreeing.
Yeah.
But you're getting that direct cross reference to RJ Choppy. I think it's worth it.
Well, I'd say Choppy getting the Snippy.
Choppy getting the Snippy. What are we in the 1980s? Choppy getting the Snippy. In Old English.
Maybe that's what it is.
Choppy getting a Snippy.
Choppy getting a Snippy. So that's number one. All right. So
Jason Statham.
Once again, Choppy getting a Snippy.
Dude, wait, Kevin Walker, Daddy Walker's walking in. Hey, Kevin Walker's dad, Khaki Kev's dad, you might know me.
How old are you, bloke?
50.
50 years old, still at it, huh?
I'm actually fired live rounds last night. Actually, I was thinking.
It's quite impressive if I do say so myself.
Yes, I was looking to get the choppy, the snippy. I heard about it on the radio.
If I was you, I'd get the snippy, mate.
I think I want the choppy. Is that more expensive, or?
I don't think you're ready for the choppy, mate.
Well, I heard RJ Choppy got the choppy.
Who's talking to who here, mate?
You know what? Just give me the snippy.
I think that's the right choice.
And that was the story of Khaki Kev's
That was
dad.
it. That was the dialogue. That was the back and forth.
That's how he explained it to me.
That's exactly how it went down with Jason Statham, the vasectomy doctor. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, you guys all know, and this is really directed towards our guy Carter Freeman, who is we're turning the entire station into fatties if we do say so ourselves.
People are staying up later. They're getting no sleep.
Yeah, they are. Look, I don't care. Look, if you're sloppy at work tomorrow,
just blame it on us, all right? That's what we do here.
Because I'm gonna tell you right now,
blame it on the
blame it on the rain.
Alcohol.
That's it.
Was a song. Who sang that song?
I think it was T-Pain, wasn't it?
Blame it on the
alcohol. Blame it on the rain. Who sang that? No, neither one of you guys know that.
Prince. Close?
No.
J. Rule.
No. J. Rule?
Yeah. Ja Rule.
Wow, you just set back. Wow. You
Ja
just
Rule.
set
My
back.
bad.
Wow.
I was thinking eternally, not internal.
This guy said J. Rule. Millie Vanilli.
I wouldn't.
Millie Vanilli. No, you wouldn't have. All right, so number two. So I thought that my lease was running out this month.
Okay.
Because I've been here in the DFW for a year now. So I hadn't gotten anything from my apartment complex. Shout out to Yaritza. All right. Friend of the program. Okay. So I hadn't gotten anything yet. And I'm thinking, are they booting me out? I mean, what are we doing here? Is there something I don't know? Because they're pretty good about, God forbid you got a box on your balcony that no one can see. They'll let you know about that. Anyway, we got that taken care of. So I go in there. Me holler at my girl Yaritza, say, hey, what's the deal? I'm about to pay rent, but I need to know what are we doing
I feel like
here?
you went in there as like
Guns
Godfather.
blazing.
What's the deal, man?
No, guns blazing. You know me. Basically just throwing that shirt, and I just came in, just making all kinds of noise.
No Italian accent.
Making all kinds of noise. You know me.
No Godfather?
No. Yaritza's not that. Yaritza's...
Not her, you. I'm just saying you didn't go in there start demanding stuff.
You got to know...
The temperature?
The audience, exactly, right? So I go in there. Yaritza's wearing like a full-blown, body cast.
What is, like she got hurt?
Well, yeah, okay. Yeah, exactly. Okay,
so she's injured.
So she's sitting here at the computer.
I'm thinking, what was the guy's name that was made of glass on SpongeBob, where he's sitting straight up and he's like in a full stretcher, but he's sitting up? Is that what you're thinking of?
I guess.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I don't know the name.
Here comes Alec 2.0 sprinting in here because he clearly knows who you're talking about.
The guy in SpongeBob that was made of glass that always got hurt falling down the stairs. That's what I'm picturing their Yaritza as.
Alec 2.0 says no name for the character.
No name for the character. He was purple. He was a purple fish. Okay, continue your story.
So she's got this body brace on, okay?
And you didn't ask her about it. You weren't considerate.
Oh, no, I absolutely did.
First thing
I said was, did you break your back? First thing.
Why don't you just say, what'd you break?
Very considerate.
No.
Why not just what happened?
No. First
just
thing I
assumption?
Asked. First thing, did you break your back?
Okay. And her response?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I said, wow, what'd you do?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Leaves the mind to figure it out.
Oh, the mind's wandering at this point, okay? Because just a little background on, Yaritza's not, she's a pretty docile person, okay? Doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low, just, picture middle-aged Hispanic woman, okay? Boom, done. That's it. Couldn't be nicer. So I said, you don't know? She's like, I have no idea. I said, can you bend over?
Wow. And how do we go to Schottenheimer audio right now?
Random question.
We forfeited it.
Random question. Okay. I thought it was fair. What? By the way, she can't. Okay? Just so you guys know, she can't.
What's her response?
She just shook her head. She said, no, I can't. She was, and so.
A little bit of shock in her face. And she's like, no, I can't.
No, didn't. Let me tell you something. Yaritza was clearly, what am I trying to say here? Yaritza did not mind that we were having a one-on-one about her physical ailment. So I asked her, I said, how long you laid up in this brace? She said 3 months. Okay. Told her that she had a big following on the fan. Told her she had listeners, followers.
So when's the wedding, Fred? Let's cut to it. I mean, y'all are talking about back braces, one-on-ones.
She's wearing a back brace.
So she could bend over.
Yeah, come on, Fred.
Maybe the bending over question was a little bit much.
Yeah, you think?
It's a fair question. It's a fair question. How many people have you talked to with their backs broke?
I don't know.
None.
I'm not keeping catalogs of it.
Yeah, okay, no. Stop.
Okay.
Don't pretend like
Stopping.
you're too good to know if you've talked to somebody with a broken
I'm
back.
sure in my
How many
life.
people have you met with a broken back that you remember?
3. I don't know.
No, you don't.
Okay, I don't.
Never.
Okay.
None. Zero. You.
Yeah, none.
None. Exactly. So,
The
fair
first question from your leasing agent is, can you bend over?
That was not the first question.
First 30 seconds.
No, the first question, Blake, was, is your back
Is
broken?
your back broken? Not what happened. Are you okay? Is your back broken? Because that's going to be a...
What do you mean, is she okay? Yeah, clearly she's okay. She's sitting at her desk typing up, important apartment stuff. So, yeah, she was okay.
Okay.
Yaditsa was fine.
Okay.
And no, she can't bend over.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that
And she'll be back in 3 months.
She'll be back in 3 months? She's
Like-
not going to be in the office for 3 months?
No, she's in the office. I'm just saying, she'll be back as far as, she thinks she'll be back to normal.
Normal?
Yeah. Not
still
wearing a brace, dude.
She's just back to out of her brace. I wouldn't say back to normal. I mean, she's not.
Have you seen somebody? See,
I don't know what she looks like.
That's what I'm saying. See, this is where you two are underestimating what a person in a back brace looks like. Like you're not used to seeing it. You know the only reason I know?
You're saying you weren't thinking clearly, or?
Huh?
Are you saying you weren't thinking clearly?
I was
or?
thinking, no. You guys are underselling the whole broken back because y'all don't know what it looks like to see somebody with the broken. It's a bit unsettling.
Were you uncomfortable talking to her?
No, I
or
wasn't.
something?
No, I
Right.
wasn't.
So,
That's
but
what
if
I
it's
mean,
unsettling, wouldn't you be a little bit more gentle?
Look, for me, I was fine. I mean, come on. No, I'm saying unsettling for the average layperson. For me, didn't miss a beat.
Someone said, I am shocked that a person with a broken back cannot bend over. Shook, Fred.
That's it. So was I.
I think they're being sarcastic. Had to ask a question. So the back's broken. You're in a full back brace. Can you bend over? No. 3 months?
But can you bend over, though? So I asked her, I said, how long you laid up in this thing? She's like, 3 months.
Of course she does. So when are you going to be back to full go? Full go. Just wondering.
When can I see you doing sprints across the parking lot? Because that's what.
Surprised your follow-up wasn't, when can you bend over?
Oh my gosh. Fred, I know y'all probably had the nicest interaction, but if someone is the first one hearing you and Yaritza, they would think you're her stalker, the way this story's going.
No,
Asking this girl, could she bend over at your apartment complex with a broken back?
It's a fair question. Absolutely fair question. Because she's sitting there like this. So my natural question is, can you bend over? Why does everything, but why? See, this is where
me,
everything always has to be.
Okay, let's just look at the text line. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me.
I think we need to give her a congratulations for getting through it.
Yeah, for getting through that conversation with Fred, I agree.
She gets claps from me.
That's a bell ring.
Absolutely, it is. By the way, I signed a 15-month lease.
You know what?
Didn't even realize it.
Let's just flip it.
Didn't even realize it.
Your daughter is working at the front desk. She has the same ailment, and some guy walks in and goes, "Oh, your back's broke. Can you still bend over?"
Yeah.
And you hear that story back from your daughter after she gets off work. Just how you feel?
I would ask her, "Do you know the guy?" And how did he ask the question?
He stays here, Dad. He just asked me, "Is my back broken? And can I bend over?"
Yeah.
No, you would have no.
I think Blake brings are actually a really good point.
I would say, was he being a creep about it? And she's like, no.
No, he wasn't being a creep about it. He just asked me if I could bend over.
Yeah. Yeah, you have a broken back. That's a fair question. You have a broken back. Can you bend over? Again, not everything has to be.
If your daughter called, you'd be mad. You'd be mad. You wouldn't be like, "Oh, that's a fine question. What was your follow up, babe?" "Oh, that's fine."
Was he? I would ask, was he genuine? Because there's a context.
You'd have questions.
Was he being a pervert or was he genuine? No, because that's what it is.
I don't think you're a pervert, Fred.
I know, but see, when you just say that out of context, oh, can you bend over? Because look, I already had questions. You got a broken back and don't know.
I'll let the text.
You got a broken back and don't know how it happened. That's what that was.
There's so much reading between the lines this whole segment.
So we never found out how it happened?
She doesn't know.
She knows.
She knows. Right.
Look.
She's playing you like a fiddle. She knows.
Are you calling Yaritza a liar?
I'm not calling her a liar. I'm just saying she withheld information. Doesn't mean you're lying.
Well, she's been lying by omission.
Okay.
Lying by omission.
Maybe that.
I don't think.
You don't literally break your back
Go to
and
get a
not know
brace.
how the hell it happened.
She might have, you know what? I wonder if she like fell and was just embarrassed to say what happened.
Maybe.
Possible. And that's
kinda
withholding
that's
information.
That's kind of what but she had no problem telling me she couldn't bend over. So again, take that for what it's worth. Take that for what it's worth. We're just two middle-aged people talking, for God's sakes, guys. Okay? Like, what is y'all's problem?
I love it.
Seriously.
When y'all are talking, y'all are like, this is
it.
This is good for my day.
This is it.
This is my social interaction today.
I told her I was going to shout her out on the radio. She was so excited about
The
it.
214 raises a fantastic question.
What's that?
If she answered yes, what would your next response be?
If she answered that she could bend over, and so I would have said, all right, so what can't you do? Like, what are you limited with a broken back? That's a legit question. Like, I've never had a broken back, so what can't you do?
I didn't say anything.
Like, you guys are just blown away by this question.
I'm not.
No, you really are.
I didn't say anything.
I can't believe you asked her that. Ah, she's got a broken back, man.
I feel like there was like 7
you know
other
what?
questions you could ask before.
What,
and
what,
then maybe,
what would you have asked? What would
I
you
would
have
have just said, how did it happen? Like you
Which I did.
Like you
Which
did.
I did.
Like you
Next.
did.
Next.
Like you did.
Next.
And then I would say, where did you get the procedure done at? Where'd you get your
What
back brace?
procedure? I don't
She's
care.
She broke her back. She didn't just put the brace on
Yeah,
at
she
the
went and got an
house.
MRI, and she had the brace. I don't care where she went. What do I care?
How did the MRI go? How much does something like
She
that
told me-
cost? Do you have to take off work? Was anybody
None
around
of which I
when
care
it
about.
happened?
None of which I care
Well,
about.
there you go.
None
I
of
would
which I
not have
care
asked
about.
any
I
of
want to know the
those.
physicality. Are you okay? What are your limitations?
Why don't you just ask that? What are your limitations? I like that question.
Well, can you bend over? That's the first one.
You see this?
It's a random. I mean, what am I at? What you think I was going to walk behind the desk after she said that? I mean,
Just reading the text. They said if she answered, what would your next response have been?
That's great. So what are you limited? What can't you do?
That's great. The spread. I said that I can bend over. That's great. Yeah. What's your other limitations, if you don't mind me asking?
Because if you saw the way she was sitting there,
Someone
like,
said, I still don't believe you, Fred.
that is so weird. I don't care. Okay, it was a legit question. I was in the moment, and she was standing there.
There
like
we go.
this.
Now we've gotten to the crux. You're in the moment.
What?
You're in the moment.
Yeah, I
and
was
that's
in the
fine.
moment.
And
I was in the moment.
Cheers to you for
But I
having a
wasn't
good
saying
memory.
it like, oh, let me hook up with you. Because I want to know if you.
Whoa!
No, because that's
Who's
where you're
insinuating
going. No,
that?
I know where the innuendo
Whoa!
is. Now, you guys, look, I was born
This-
tonight,
this
but
is
not
what-
last
This
night.
is what we call, Kevin, projection. I don't
You know
remember.
what? No, you guys started the project. No,
Did
you
me and Kevin
started.
ever
No,
say anything
y'all
about
Just
hooking up?
raising the question. We're just
projection.
being journalists.
You started
Just
the projection.
raising
We're
questions.
just probing. We're just trying to get more questions.
Bro,
Why
yeah, no.
was the question
Yeah, no.
asked?
I
Yeah,
like
I
that.
told you why the question was
And then
asked.
you went to hooking up.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, because
Fred,
that's
we
what
don't
you
think
got.
of you like that.
I know what you.
Fred. Fred, don't do that.
You liar, you Judas.
The
All right.
903.
By the way, somebody texted in top 5 cartoons.
It's random.
That's such a great top
Probably
5,
because
though.
we mentioned SpongeBob.
Well, this
Oh,
was
we did
before
mention
SpongeBob. This is before SpongeBob, though.
Well, what's
Fred,
not before SpongeBob is going to be
the
all
only
the audio.
question that really matters is she hot?
You'll get that answer, and Brian Schottenheimer, who's got some hot burning questions next
Can he
for your
bend over?
Cowboys. Wow.
Through your phone, smart speaker, or more, name your device. The Odyssey app is there for you, thanks to our friends at Comerica.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any...
Uber Eats has Lola V products? I gotta remember that.
Well, you know, they say in order to remember something, you have to forget something else. Okay, now that is a very cute haircut. That's like a little shag. I've never seen it before.
Well, I mean, of course you have. It's the Rachel.
Oh, is that your name?
No, I mean, like your name.
No, I'm Jen. My name's Jen.
Right, but I just mean like this is your haircut.
But that's hair on your head.
I'm not saying this is your hair.
Okay, freak me out a little bit.
go-to for car and truck work attorneys in Dallas.
Thank you for that, Khaki Kev. What a speed run of a show so far. 9 to midnight, day 2 of this Tank Top Tuesday. Dallas Fan Cam on Twitch and YouTube. If you're not on there, you're missing the gun show. If I do say so myself, and I'm really just talking about Khaki Kev and the Producer Cup. Putting on for the producers today with the Tank Top. Going to midnight tonight, so we get an extra hour of coverage for you guys to give you all things DFW. For all you missed, the Texas Rangers get the 1-0 win today. Shout out to none other than Nathan Eovaldi. He goes a complete game. 8 Ks? 9 Ks?
9 Ks.
9 Ks shutout. Did everything you'd want from Nathan Eovaldi show, and he's in that Cy Young running. You have to put him up there. We're going to give you all things Texas Rangers later on in the program. But
first complete game of the year.
It is the first complete game of the year. We'll give you all those stats and more here in a little bit. But first, we've only teased it for 3 segments. What did Brian Schottenheimer have to say? We heard what Jerry had to say. We've heard what Stevens had to say in the last couple of days. Let's hear from someone who's going to be a little bit closer to the quarterback, your new head coach who had some interesting things to say. Khaki Kev, what you got for us?
Yeah, so looking at some of this Schottenheimer audio, let's play this one. This one is where he's talking about, well, the Cowboys just are not done quite yet in the free agency, apparently.
The thought was, let's get into the draft where we can take the best player available. In my opinion, that's the best way to go. And I think, talking to Steven and Jerry and Will, like, by making some of the moves that we've made, we feel like, yeah, we're not done. We still have things that we want to do, but like when you get into the draft and you're sitting there at those certain spots, the scouts have done an incredible job. I've said it to them. I've said to you guys. The scouts and the personnel guys, they're the experts. They do this 365 days a year. It's our job as a coaching staff to present to them, here's what we want, here's what we're looking for, and then the conversation at the combine were incredible. We had some really just awesome give and take about positions and the way you define a 3 technique or the way you define an offensive lineman or a tight end. But yeah, I feel like we go into this draft with a lot of confidence. Again, we're not done in free agency. We're always looking to acquire. We're always looking to compete in the personnel side of it. But I do feel like we've set ourselves up to go into the draft where, hey, we're sitting in certain spots. That's the guy's the best player available. Let's take it.
I'll go ahead and say this off the rip. Definitely got to close your eyes to hear that audio. A lot going on in the background. We need a mic right in these guys, right in front of them.
We need a Fan After Dark correspondent.
Well, we definitely need that. You just wonder, some of these guys, I feel like a lot of these guys are just recording with phones.
Yeah.
And so if the phone's not right there, now some phones obviously,
and we know
record
this
better than
from
others.
personal experience being right there, but
it makes all the difference in the world when you put that bad boy
and we're
right.
not going to out whose audio that is because they've done great stuff for us. And now
it's not terrible. It's just
there's just a lot going on.
Well, here, look, you saw I'm sure you guys have seen the video, or excuse me, the picture of. We joked about it last night. Old boy that's half asleep at the table with Mike Tomlin.
Mark Caboli.
That's kind of what that's what everything looks like, right? So you got Shotty at the head of the table. You got a bunch of media members sitting around, and they just plop their phone in front of it and hit record, and you catch what you can, right? Yeah. And that's literally what it is. Now, that said, as far as what he said about best player available, you know what I'll say about Brian Schottenheimer? And I can only speak to this year and base it off of what I've heard from Mike McCarthy. And granted, I wasn't with the Fan during the offseason. I came on in June, and by that point, season was, it was our training camp was just around the corner. There was no OTAs or anything like that. It was pretty much the dead period before, hey, we kick things off in a month. So I never really got to hear Mike McCarthy do his, off-season talks at owners' meetings or whatever else. Schottenheimer, though, for being a Cowboys coach, just feels like the Cowboys are all like when you hear Steven and Jerry. Well, Jerry just tells you whatever, right? Like you again, like we heard earlier, 2 minutes of we still can't figure out what he said.
Yeah.
Steven's going to give you lip service. Mm-hmm. I feel like with Brian Schottenheimer, though, like I'm getting actual insight as to what this team might actually do.
I'll say that, but he kind of already said things we know that they want to add to the team. They want to be able to draft BPA, which is, I think every team's going to say, we're going to purposely handicap ourselves so that we can't take BPA and we have to reach for a position. They're not going to say that, but I got to see action. I believe they want to add and continue adding so that you can go BPA, but until you get a corner and another linebacker, I don't think you can go BPA. mainly corner. Corner is probably the only position right now. The season started today. You would be the worst cornerback room in the National Football League.
Well, Shotty actually talked about what he and the team plans on doing and their goal with the 12th overall pick.
Yeah, again, the starting point would be best player available. You know, you're always looking for game changers when you're picking 12. Like, we don't want to ever pick 12th again. All right, let's be honest. We don't want to pick that high. But you're looking for guys that influence the game. How do you influence the game? You rush the quarterback and you get sacks, strip sacks, fumbles, whatever it is. You score touchdowns. Okay. So those are usually, I look at it this way, you build it from the outside in. So you got corners, receivers, they get isolated one-on-one. Pass rushers, tackles, they get isolated one-on-one. And then obviously the quarterback position. But usually that's the way I've looked at it, is when you're building a roster, kind of think of it from building it from outside in based on guys that get isolated a lot. Because when you're isolated and you can't help, it's a pretty daunting task sometimes.
Well, that's some insight. I think that's probably the most insight we've gotten as far as who they're going to get at 12. He said, I think about outside in. That's what he said first. Guys that are isolated, wide receiver, corner, which I think both are on the table at 12. Whether you like Jade or Will Johnson, there's only 2 first-round corners. And then whether you like Tet, Abuka, Golden, who else am I forgetting? Golden. Unless you like those. So that's 6 guys are now that Burden. Those are 6 guys that are on the table. Maybe 7 if I named another receiver. And then what do you go to? Edge and tackle.
Yeah.
Unless you're taking Will Campbell or Josh Simmons or
I get the feeling they're going to try to move back, but I just don't know that I don't know that that's going to be on the table.
Now, does that maybe take Genty out of the equation? Not saying they can't draft him.
Genty ain't going to be there 12.
I'm just saying, based on his comments, we're outside in. He named wide receiver and corner, so those come top of mind. Then he said tackle and edge. Then he said quarterback.
I mean, it sounds like he says that knowing that you're going to have your pick for the most part
of all those positions,
quarterbacks and cornerbacks and wide receivers available.
There's a good chance neither of that position has been picked by the time you're on the clock at 12.
Well, I mean, let's call it what it is. If depending upon where you slot Travis Hunter, right? Which you could slot him with both. Yeah. So he'll be gone.
Yeah.
Right.
But other than that,
Tet is really the only guy that probably won't, that may not, quote unquote, be available at 12.
Yeah. But everyone else is a pretty good case.
I think everybody else you're going to have.
I've heard some Jade Barron or Will Johnson to the 49ers at 11 love, but that's not a huge probability. That's not like some pick that everybody's saying, but I have seen that in some mock drafts. So for the most part, maybe not the wide receiver 1 and corner 1, but everybody else at pick 12 at least, if you don't move back, you're the pick of the litter for. Talks about tackles and edges, talk about Josh Simmons, Will Campbell. Will Campbell will probably be gone. I've also seen some people saying the short arms is dropping him. We'll have to wait and see.
He's already come out and they measured him. They measured it 33 inches on his pro day, and he actually had a pretty funny little retort at his pro day, because we all love Will Campbell's voice because he sounds like he's my age. But he said, I just found it funny that, all season long, I've been in the SEC for 2 years. I've been dominant in the SEC. I've had nobody question my arm length until a month ago. And now
that's what the draft process is. We question, we deep dive, we look at all these intangibles, we look at arm size, we look at foot speed, we look at agility.
At some point, though, it does get a little bit almost paralysis analysis.
Of course.
I mean, let's be real. Really, we're going to worry about this dude's half-inch short arm?
It's what these draft scouts do, man.
Well, last bit of audio here from Schottenheimer. He did actually speak a little bit on the team's number 2 wide receiver spot.
He sure did.
Yeah. Again, CeeDee's an incredible player. Always looking to add depth at that room. Again, really proud of Jalen Tolbert. I've talked about him from the time we started talking about it 2 years ago when he was improving to now we talk about him as the leading receiver touchdown-wise on our team. Along with finding guys and adding more pieces, it's our job as a staff to be a developmental staff, right? We need to get these guys like Ryan Flournoy, Mingo to take the next step. We have to do that. That's our job. And so one of the things that we're working on right now is an improvement plan for each guy, okay? All right, so let's use Mingo, for example. These are the 2 or 3 things that, okay, hey, for Mingo to get to where we want him to go, he does these 3 things. It's not just those 3 things. It's what are the steps, the action plan to do those 3 things. And so that's what we're looking at now with our current players, because as you know, they come back here in 2 weeks. And so between developing those guys on the roster and always looking under every corner to add some speed and some more playmaking skills, we're always looking to do that.
I'll say that is a tough question, especially for a head coach, I personally think, because the way that question is framed, you kind of have to undermine the team, and he didn't.
No.
Where it's like, wide receiver 2, man, obviously you need a bump because Tolbert isn't doing it. That's what they're inferring by the question. We've been doing it all summer, and that's our job as the media to talk about what things are going wrong. But as the guy who's in that locker room, obviously more recent than Schottenheimer, wasn't there last year.
Steven was probably a little more indicting than
because Steven doesn't have to be necessarily right next to it. Like he can kind of look at just results. Well, Tolbert, he didn't say this, I'm summarizing, but Tolbert didn't.
Yeah, Shotty's got to go into that wide receiver room. Maybe I did throw a couple of you guys under the bus earlier this season.
Yeah, so you can't really.
No, you got to be careful how you say it.
You got to be careful. You have to have coach speak right there and be like, Tolbert's been great, led the league in touchdowns. We got Mingo and Florida on these projection plans of how they're going to progress. And I think he's saying all the right things. He can't come out and say, yeah, Tolbert's not producing, and we're desperate for a wide receiver 2, somebody to give us production. Now, Jerry and Steven might and could do that, but I don't expect Schottenheimer to undermine when he's in the locker room. It's a different scenario.
And not to mention, too, you've got a guy in Schottenheimer who, we questioned months ago when we had our boy Bobby Belt on and asked him, what does Brian Schottenheimer do? And he serves as kind of the liaison between the offensive staff and Mike McCarthy. And so he's got a good relationship, and you can tell that based off of what you just heard. That's what I'm saying when it comes to what we've heard out of Brian Schottenheimer so far is I love the candor that we've gotten from our guy Brian Schottenheimer so far. It just feels like, for a guy that has been much maligned as far as, okay, sure, he didn't have all the pomp and circumstance that you get with a Pete Carroll, that you get with the Ben Johnson. But I'll tell you what, man, and again, I get it. It's still early. There's, you don't get any awards for winning the offseason, but I have been very encouraged by just the way he carries himself, by the way he composes himself. Like, this is a dude that you can tell has been around football a really long time and knows how to maneuver around a football, an NFL locker room.
Last one before we get out of here. At 12, the Cowboys pick who based on all the information you've learned in this segment? If you had to make a decision right now, and you were trying to make it aligned with what you think the Cowboys would do, no trade back. We can do that all day. They're at 12. Who do they pick?
I think they're going to take a wide receiver.
Okay. Based on the comments you heard in this.
I think two things. We've heard from who? We've heard Steven talk about how they need to get explosive at number 2. We've already scanned the available free agents. There's nobody explosive in that group. Okay, plenty of bodies, plenty of good dudes, plenty of veterans, but nobody that you would qualify as explosive.
Correct.
So unless you plan on trading for somebody, which they didn't rule that out either, but if we're just talking about explosion as a number 2, Steven talked about it. Shotty talked about building from the outside in. I don't know that Jahdae Barron or Will Johnson, somebody that, and maybe they're going to fall in love with him. Who knows? But I just get the feeling from what we've heard that I would not be surprised in 3 weeks you get a wide receiver at number 2 or 12.
Wide receiver at 12, running back and corner in the second, third, swap them around. Either way, I think that is a good cooking for the Dallas Cowboys. What do we got? Speaking of cooking, what we got cooking next for us, Fred Davis?
Fair foul.
Fair foul next on the Fan After Dark.
Coming up Wednesday morning on Sean and RJ, did the Rangers get even with the Reds? It's a Meet Church Wednesday with Matt Pittman at 8:20 and another.
Forget something else to remember that Uber Eats has groceries.
No, that's absurd. Hey, remember when you used to be Pepper Lady? Pepper Lady?
Wasn't it Cinnamon Sisters?
Razor Babes.
Saffron Squad?
Nutmeg Maidens?
Pre-Curb?
No.
Nutmeg
said that? Was it Spice Girls?
Doesn't sound right.
Was it Saffron Club?
Uber Eats has Lola V products? I gotta remember that.
Well, you know, they say in order to remember something, you have to forget something else. Okay, now that is a very cute haircut. That's like a little shag. I've never seen it before.
Well, I mean, of course you have. It's the Rachel.
Oh, is that your name? No, I mean your name.
No, I'm Jack. Your name's Jack. Right, but I just mean like this is your haircut, but that's hair on your...
Visit ClassicChevrolet.com. This is Texas. This is Classic Chevrolet. Together, let's drive, relax, and enjoy the difference based on new Chevy registrations 2023 and 2024.
Fair or foul is upon us here on the Fan After Dark. 877-881-1053. Text in if you are still awake and hanging out with us. Late night, 10:40, and it's not 20 minutes till we're out of here. it's an hour and 20 minutes because we're going all the way till midnight. If you're Toloing and fattening it up, text into the program because I love you guys. 72-71 Minnesota. Timberwolves up on Denver in Denver. Close game here with under 3 minutes to go in the third. If you're a fan of NBA basketball, you know it's coming down to the end, especially in the Western Conference. It is a tight race right now to see who will pull apart. Just to give you a little bit of a update on where your Dallas Mavericks sit, they're 9th in the Western Conference, 37-39, 4-6 in their last 10. The last game they played, they lost to the Brooklyn Nets, and Anthony Davis scored 12 points. So Luka put up another great performance, and the Lakers beat the Rockets. So,
you're talking about last night?
I am talking about last night. But I'll hand off the baton to you, good sir, because it is your segment. It is Fair or Foul.
Well, it's our segment, okay? It's our segment. It's a Fan After Dark segment. Who was, I know you, I mean, obviously I know you were here, but which producer was with us when we did the story about the young lady who may or may not have been sleeping with her boyfriend's dad?
So random. I don't.
Mary Kate, whatever. That was Jake.
Oh, that was Jake. You're talking about that one.
That was new guy Jake.
Yeah, that was
he
his.
was the one that brought the story to us.
Foul.
That's right. He did read that story.
Someone said y'all are the midnight snacks for tonight. Oh. Okay. You know, it's usually KNC snacks.
Okay. We are. That's true. We are. All right. So
hopefully I'm a Scooby snack.
That story obviously went viral. I mean, we talked about it.
And then we forgot about it because I just forgot about it right now.
Well, that's what we do, right? I mean, it's a story. We give
crazy,
it
the cycle that we're
24. Maybe if it's really big, you might get 2 days. If it's really, really big, you'll get 3 days. And that's about it.
Yeah. As far as front of mind.
That's it. Like that in the world we live in today's, I mean, we talk about a 24-hour news cycle. I mean, we're down to a 12-hour news cycle at this point.
What news has lasted the longest? It's not like political because obviously that
Luigi.
I would say Luigi. As far as in the last like 12 months, that people still talked about 2 weeks after, and it was still like main thing of topic of
Luigi
conversation.
for sure.
Luka getting traded.
That was a good month long.
Yeah, and it still kind of goes on. You're still walking to people, and that's the first thing they say to you, sports related.
100%.
Probably those two. As far as front of mind.
Front of mind? Yeah.
Not just like, oh, I know this, but maybe you don't. I'm sharing this information with you. Like, you're not going to tell very many people about Luka or Luigi. They're like, oh, what?
I was going to say, it's anything non-political, that's about the first two things that come to mind. Yeah. And then celebrity breakup news, I'm sure.
But I'm sure there's a bunch of people that don't know it. I'm saying these two were like, everybody knows it for weeks, and it was still front of mind. Because you can probably tell me any celebrity news, I'm not going to know it. Yeah. Probably those two. And then the only one I could think of before that was OceanGate. It always comes. That one will never leave my mind.
OceanGate?
Yeah. The submarine?
The submarine that exploded?
Yeah. I mean, that was like a 7th month. Like, everybody was making.
I was on air in Houston when they found or when they confirmed what had happened.
Remember when we heard the sound and everyone was like, half the people were like, that was it exploding.
No, it had to.
The other half were like, let's wait.
We had so many Twitter doctors.
Well, look, you had me at. This thing probably didn't end well when you told me that it had an Xbox controller guiding it through the ocean.
Nintendo 64 controller.
I do want to say rest in peace to all the families that went in there, and it's obviously a sad story.
I mean, yeah, sorry, but...
also, it was one of the more interesting stories to, like, cover and just... Not cover as far as being on the radio. I'm just saying, like, follow on our phones, like, who these people were, the invention of it.
I don't know. I mean, call me old-fashioned, but if you told me that, hey, I'm going to go to the depths of the ocean in a capsule...
That thing was small.
It was tiny. Okay?
I'm like, at least give me some military grade.
It had a video game controller guiding it.
I'd be like, did the military sign off on this? The Navy SEALs?
I mean, did anybody with an engineering degree sign off on this? I mean, the hell with the military.
I need more than just an engineering degree if I'm going further than anybody's ever gone on Earth.
I need to know that, you're using equipment that I can't just buy at Walmart.
Yeah.
To steer this thing.
100%. When it comes to going up or down.
I mean, again, call me old-fashioned.
I would say that even for, like, if I'm going skydiving. Like, I'm not, oh, hey, I did it.
Yeah, anything that I could die as a result. Now, this is where the text flying. Oh, man, have you ever bought used tires before? Okay, maybe fair. That's a fair point. So here's the deal with our girl, Mary Kate Cornett. She is now...
This is the girl who allegedly...
This is the girl who was...
We got to say allegedly.
Very much allegedly.
She came after some people.
No. Well, here's the deal. Well, let's just go ahead and read it. The Old Miss college freshman at the center of a vile internet rumor that gained traction in late February is looking to take legal action against ESPN and Pat McAfee, who touched upon the wild accusations made against the teen on the ESPN program as the ensuing fallout of the gossip spread.
Wasn't this during the Combine?
Has been ruining her life.
Wasn't this during the Combine? I'm pretty sure it was.
Sounds about right.
Because they had the whole host on. They had Adam
that was a big
Schefter,
story.
Ian Rappaport.
No, everybody was talking about it. Speaking about the nightmare that has unfolded over the last 5 weeks, 18-year-old Mary Kate Cornett told The Athletic she wants, quote, people to be held accountable for what they've done in giving life to an unfounded rumor that she slept with her boyfriend's father. Quote, you're ruining my life by talking about it on your show for nothing but attention, but here I am staying up until 5 in the morning every night, throwing up, not eating because I'm so anxious about what's going to happen for the rest of my life, said Cornett, who is plotting legal action against ESPN and others, possibly for their roles in, quote, spreading the rumor, according to The Athletic. McAfee, who did not respond to The Athletic's messages for comment, and ESPN spokesperson also declined comment, referenced the gossip on the February 26th installment of the Pat McAfee Show without specific mention of Cornett. Upon briefing guest Adam Schefter on the matter, the NFL insider responded, so where is Jackson Dart in all of this? As McAfee Show was taped from the scouting combine in Indianapolis. Former NFL wide receiver Antonio Brown and Barstool sports personality KFC Barstool have also come under fire for public mentions of the story. She can't even, quote, I can't even walk on campus without people taking pictures of me or screaming my name or saying super vulgar, disgusting things.
Do we know if she's still with her boyfriend?
Ooh.
I think they are.
Because if she's worried about what people think, if she's not still with her boyfriend, that tells us, I think, all we need to know. Maybe.
I want to say I saw a picture recently of them like out to dinner or something, or out for like lunch or something.
Let's see.
Because if she's still with her boyfriend or not, I think that'll dictate a lot of things when it comes to old Mary Kate. Any update?
I'm skimming through it to see. Okay, I mean, this is getting a little bit ridiculous, too. Cornett, who has since pivoted to online learning at the university, fears she'll have trouble in the job market over the matter and has pondered what her future children might think. These folks, they can just say whatever they want and destroy a young girl's life forever. Cornett added, they don't think it matters because they don't know who I am and they think I deserve it, but I don't. She's also set up a GoFundMe that has raised more than $26,000.
GoFundMe?
Yeah, to seed money for helping people like that. Fair or foul?
I'm actually not going to answer this fair or foul. I don't got enough money to get sued. So foul. I think the girl innocent until proven guilty. Shout out to Mary Cornett. I got nothing but great things to say about her. Blake is too broke to be getting sued. So
I mean,
Mary Cornett's the same.
Well, we're just commenting on stuff that's already out there. We can't get sued for that.
As long as we throw allegedly, right?
Oh, I mean, no, we know it. I mean, it's a fact. They did make fun of her for it. Look, I say it's fair that she's suing. Mm-hmm. And I'm also going to say that while it's foul that she's had to deal with all this fallout, okay? I mean, unfortunately, this is the internet.
Correct.
Gonna happen.
You know, and
we gotta figure out how this rumor started. Though,
well, that story doesn't.
Snapchat.
But I'm saying it's so random just to pick a random girl. Why her?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's always a reason why. That's what we. Yeah, you're right. That's what we don't know.
There's
That's what's not
bit
discovered.
Of smoke. It's not like it was just a random girl. You know what? We're gonna ruin her life. We're gonna say she.
Seriously, like
there's something.
You know, you're suing ESPN and all the the reason why you're thinking about suing ESPN is because they're the ones who got the money.
Didn't they actually? You know what? I think they said it was like a sorority.
It was a sorority deal. That's what I read a month ago. That it was a sorority involved.
They're the one who started the rumor.
They're the ones that started the rumor and doxed her or whatever else.
Oh.
There's something.
So, and with the dad and all that kind of stuff.
Dad's just at home laughing.
Blake, do you have a fair foul?
That poor guy.
No, you got it, bud.
Okay, I got one. So. Saturday Night Live, everybody's seen it in some capacity. One of your favorite artists has probably been on there at one point in time.
90s are the best. Let's call it what it is.
Unfortunately, this one involves one that a lot of people are a massive fan of. This past Saturday, Morgan Wallen was on Saturday Night Live. I don't know if you've seen
Whalen?
It's Wallen.
Okay.
It's definitely Wallen. And I don't know. So after SNL's over, obviously everybody stands on the massive platform. They all hug, blah, blah, blah. He immediately walks off stage.
He does.
And a very, peed off attitude. Posted a picture of his jet on his way home with the quote, "Get me to God's country." Fair foul, not following obvious Saturday Night Live traditions.
I think it's fair. Everybody's got to be their own person. He obviously something happened where he didn't feel comfortable hugging up everybody. Foul if it was nothing to happen and he just thinks he's above them. But if something did happen, fair for him standing on his business and leaving when he wanted to. So obviously I would need more context to know why he left. But fair if there was a reason, foul if there wasn't, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know what the reason is.
We don't know if he got called something, never come back, you're the worst, whatever, you did a terrible job, we're not paying. I don't know. We don't know what happened backstage or during the show or whatever. So I can't exactly say it's foul because then I'm going without not knowing what happened behind the scenes.
Yeah, I don't know what exactly went down. I mean, that's what you do after on Saturday Night Live. Everybody shakes hands and hugs and wraps up.
Keenan Thompson talked about this a little bit, kind of saying that he did feel like it was a little abrupt, and I guess it did kind of pee off a little bit of everybody else on SNL. From what he's saying, there's nobody that could understand why there was any issue, why there was anything wrong, and also took a massive issue to posting, why are you saying that you got to get to God's country? Why are you saying that you're not already in God's country? So a lot of people are pretty upset about it.
Where's SNL filmed? LA, New York?
New York
City? Well, I mean,
Keenan's thing was, isn't God everywhere?
Yeah.
Correct. I would agree.
And then you have.
So where's Morgan going back to?
I think he's from Tennessee, isn't he? And that's what people have been saying, like, well, the area he's from, they call it God's country. Mm-hmm. And let's call it what it is. Anybody that's been to Texas, I mean, look, we're all Texans in some capacity. You guys were born and raised here. I've been here for the last 17 years of my life. How many times have people said this is God's country?
Texas?
As referring to Texas. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, again, without burying the lead or being too, I think you've got two factions of the way people feel. Maybe the political background side of the guests or the people that are on Saturday Night Live, and then you got Morgan Whalen and how he goes about doing his business. And I think that's ultimately, I think that's kind of where we're bearing the lead here as it pertains. And yeah, is he being a little dramatic? Maybe. All right. I mean, can he not just shake hands? I don't know. Like you said, I wasn't there. I mean, we've seen a lot of different acts that probably you would never see these folks hanging out any other time besides that Saturday night that can still kumbaya it up and say what's up afterwards. So I think it's much ado about nothing.
Kumbaya and shaking hands is what the Rangers did after they got the W today.
Sure did. The pitching staff anyway.
We'll let you know what important stats from today's Rangers game, how your Dallas Stars are doing, your Dallas Mavericks, and, of course, your Dallas Cowboys next on the Fan After Dark.
Through your phone, smart speaker, or
Victory Tuesday. Nathan Eovaldi with the first complete game of the 2025 MLB season, giving a much-needed respite to the Texas Rangers bullpen after they've just been taxed to all get out going into tonight's game. And this is courtesy of my boy Bitter Mike Babbo for giving me this little nugget. The bullpen had pitched 25 innings and you'd gotten 20 innings out of your starters.
Well,
right?
when Kumar and Malley don't get out of the third inning, either of them, it's going to happen.
Well, Kumar got you 3.
3, yeah.
Which, no one's throwing a parade for that. However, you're right. Malley couldn't even get you 2. Nope. Got you 1 2/3, and of course you had to go a bullpen. But even, look, even with DeGrom gave you 5. Now, in fairness, and you and I talked about this, he probably could have given you another inning.
Of course, yeah. They did the right thing. It's still the bullpen still has a pitch, whether you're doing the right thing or not.
It's early. It's late March, early April. You're not trying to go 90 pitches for Jacob DeGrom, right?
Speaking of 90 pitches, shout out to Nathan Eovaldi with a complete game. And I thought the best part of that stat line was staying under 100 pitches.
Right at 100. Or excuse me, right under 100 at 99.
The Ks, the earned runs. I mean, obviously you want the earned runs to be 0, but when I look at the full stat line, the thing that jumps off the most to me is the pitch count. Because, complete game shutout, but the guy pitched 140 pitches. And you're like, but at what cost? When you're dealing like
he was
that,
super efficient.
9 Ks, under 100 pitches, what, 4 hits allowed, I thought. And you said
4 hits, 8 Ks, 9 innings, no earned runs.
Through 5, he was a perfect game, correct?
4.5, yeah. 4 or 5, he had a perfect game going. But no, he was absolutely phenomenal tonight. This is what you need out of your top of the line star. This is what you need out of your horse, and that's exactly what you get out of Nathan Eovaldi. And I think you're going to see this all year long. Health obviously is the number one, concern. And I say that concern in just the sense that that's the only thing that's going to slow him down. But I guess the other thing is that you'd like to see a little bit more run support, and that'll come. All right, we're not gonna get too over our skis just yet.
Shout out to Wyatt and Adolis who have been providing that run support, both leading the team in ribbies and hits. Can I give you some Nathan Eovaldi stats of things that he some interesting notes from today's game?
Well, and I will say this though about Adolis. Yes, he did have a couple games, but he's been non-existent in the last 2 games as well.
Okay, so Nathan Eovaldi had the fewest pitches in a complete game shutout by a Texas Ranger pitcher since September 11, 2015 versus Oakland, where this pitcher had 97 pitches. Who?
Cole Hamels.
Is this pitcher? Khaki Kev, text line Fred. Cole Hamels is your guess?
That's my guess.
Cac?
One more time, what was the back history?
Fewest pitches, Nathan Eovaldi, in a complete game shutout by a Texas Rangers pitcher since September 11th, 2015 versus the Oakland Athletics, where he had 97 pitches. Who is this pitcher?
Derek Holland.
Okay, both of you guys are incorrect. I'll save it so someone on the text line can guess it. I'll move on to the next set. I'll give you an answer to that in just a second. Also, Nathan Eovaldi did this. He had the first shutout by a Texas Ranger pitcher since himself, where he had a complete game 9-inning shutout, which was on April 29th, 2023 versus the Yankees. We only gave up 3 hits in that one. So the two most recent complete game shutouts had both been by Eovaldi. One today, the other one in 2023 versus the Yanks. Also, obviously the first complete game shutout in Major League Baseball in 2025, so he sets that mark. That's like a fun trivia, like in 3 years from now. Who had the first complete game shutout in the Major League Baseball season in 2025?
Colby Lewis?
That is correct. Shout out to Colby Lewis with the blue glove. If you know ball, always had the blue glove out there. Sometimes I think he would go with the red every once in a while. Correct me if I'm wrong, he always had a colored glove out there.
Shout out to the 903. 2 texts tonight. Fire Nico, Colby Lewis. There you go. That's our guy right there. Love it.
Then the last one, which I actually need you two guys to help me decipher this tweet of what it's really saying because I was confused by it.
I'm here for it.
It is the earliest calendar date for a complete game shutout, so that part makes sense. So it's the earliest part of the season, and when you're looking at exact dates that a complete game shutout happened since last season, whereas Houston's Ronel Blanco no-hitter on 4-1 2024 versus Toronto. So would that not be the exact same date? That's what threw me off. Today's 4-1.
Today is 4-1.
But what they're saying is the season started quicker. So maybe last year the season started a day or two prior.
Oh, okay. So
that's what I'm thinking. Freddie, you thinking the same?
Not necessarily the date of 4-1, but just how many games into the season.
That's got to be what it is.
I'll look
Absolutely.
It just threw me off because it was the same day. It was like earliest calendar date, but then names the exact same date. Not like 4-5 where a guy.
Okay, read that tweet again.
Earliest is talking about Evaldi. He posted the earliest calendar date for a complete game shutout in the MLB since last season. I don't know if it's saying since last season. That's the only time.
Well, unless he's just saying that last year was the first as well. That's kind of what I take out of it.
Houston's Ronel Blanco. I remember him.
Yeah.
For Houston, had the no-hitter versus Toronto on April 1st.
So really, he said it's for earliest has been done since last year.
At this exact same date.
The exact same thing.
It was just worded a little weird. It should just said the exact same date as last year, but that was it for the Nathan Evaldi notes. Let's go to another team, your Dallas Mavericks, who had some interesting news in the last couple 48 hours. We had Mr. Fire Nico guy sitting right next to where the players come out of the tunnel screaming at Nico Harrison.
Yeah, he did.
Fire Nico to his face, get some disgruntled looks of some workers. And if you saw social media, he was going back and forth with workers. I think a fan even grabbed his phone at one point, or maybe it was security. They were tussling over the phone. It was a lot of back and forth. I think one of his friends even texted into the show when we first started. And then we also had Tim McMahon come on Locked On.
Was that the same guy? Is that the same Fire Nico guy?
Yeah, that's him. That was live shouting it. That's the guy who started it and it shouts at every game. That was him that was making the video.
Okay.
It's the same guy. It's not different guys who are shouting it.
Same guy. Well, I tell you what, I don't
think he's the only guy shouting Fire Nico ever, but I think he's the loudest and proudest.
He's the one loving it up.
Yeah. He's
he's branding himself as Fire Nico guy. So
that's what I just did. And but Tim McMahon was on with Locked On Mavs, Nick Angstadt, who we were talking about earlier in the program. Shout out to Bobby Bell. Nick asked him, when did the Dallas Mavericks stop catering and making Luka a top priority? Because we knew it was all Luka,
yeah.
And then at one point there was a culture shift. And Tim McMahon said this fall, like the fall that just happened. But then he said, if you want to back it up even more and put an exact date on it, I would say when ownership was sold, when Mark Cuban sold majority stake in the Dallas Mavericks, that's when he thinks the culture shift happened, which would make sense. It's like, hey, your old boss loves you. A new boss comes in and doesn't really care about the hierarchy. There is no, hey, you've been here the longest. Hey, you're our best server, player, roofer. It doesn't matter. Hey, I'm new boss here, and I need you to show me and prove it. Okay, you led the league in scoring and almost averaged triple-double and took us to NBA Finals.
Took us to a finals.
Okay.
What have you done for me lately?
It's been done before, Luka. We're moving on. Either way, read between the lines.
Unbelievable.
That's when they stopped catering to him. It's a good podcast. You want to listen after our show on Lockdown Mavs. And then also, let's go to our Dallas Stars. I'll go to our star savant, Khaki Kev.
Khaki Kev.
Also, I want to give another note for the Mavs. Derek Lively did practice
today? Mm-hmm. So what, you think he'll be doubtful or questionable tomorrow?
Give me doubtful.
Yeah.
Because we haven't heard very many Derek Lively updates. I just saw one today. I'll double check.
And they're back in the mix tomorrow, correct? Against Atlanta?
I don't want to be giving false information. I know they're against Atlanta.
Yes, 7:30.
Is it on? It's still on the road. It's part of the road trip, yeah?
Nope, they're at home.
You can find them at 7:30 at the AAC.
Let's go. We're back home. Yes, at home. And then they're going right back on the road to the Clippers.
Right back on the road.
Hawks, Mavericks, W or L. I'm going to say surprising L. I say Trae Young.
Nah, they'll win.
He's going to be too worried about OU basketball.
Yeah, he's the new assistant GM. He's got plenty of work to do there.
I think they lose. I'm putting a prediction out there.
I think they win because because the thing about the Mavs, they win games they shouldn't. They lose games they should. Or they shouldn't.
Atlanta's not a very big team, are they, Blake?
Zachary Richauche, Okongwu, they got guys that can rebound for sure. Big O. I don't know. Jalen Johnson's out. That sucks for them. Dyson Daniels is definitely gonna. Spencer Dinwiddie's gonna have. Jaden Hardy and Dinwiddie are gonna have like 12 turnovers.
He just got himself a shoe deal too.
I promise you, this will be one of the highest turnover games by the Dallas.
Dyson Daniels for them. Yeah, he's shoe deal, but not a vacuum deal. Missed
call.
Opportunity, I think.
Good call.
Who's buying vacuums though? That's the real question.
Shout out to Evans Vacuums on in Arlington on Parks Row, I believe. Or Randall Mill. It's off Randall Mill.
Is that the vacuum store that everybody always wonders how they're in business?
Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford participated in shoot around yesterday.
877-881-1053.
And Derek Lively, he got listed as questionable on yesterday's game.
Oh,
he was questionable for yesterday's game, and he Dude, this is so weird. Underdog tweeted out Derek Lively II ankle, because they always give the injury updates because people betting, of course. Practices Tuesday. I guess they're just saying in the future, because they tweeted it yesterday. Like he's gonna practice today. So he practiced today.
Well, and I mean, it could very well be too. There was a misprint, or they just wrote it wrong, or
Either way, Derek Lively looks like he's close to return. Let's see.
I mean, if he was questionable yesterday, there's probably a good chance he's playing tomorrow.
I think so.
Even if it's only 15 minutes. I mean,
we already saw Gafford, and both of them kind of came out of nowhere. It's not this huge ramp of like, you're going to see Gafford in a week and a half. It was like questionable playing.
Well, and then we saw, I mean, but Lively's been weird, though. Like Gafford, they just kept him under wraps forever, right? Like Gafford, we heard nothing about. Gafford got hurt, and then that was like, hey, he's playing today. Nico. Lively, they showed him shooting around when the Mavs were in L.A., and you thought maybe back then he was getting closer to a return, and then here we are a month later. So,
well, the Mavericks got the Hawks.
How much do you really expect Lively to do?
Not much. Like I said, I love Lively, light-skinned brother, Drake lover. But without Luka, we'll see what he looks like. The Hawks take on the Mavericks at home, like Fred said, at 7:30 tomorrow. They'll take the Clippers on Friday on the road, and then they'll play the Clippers in a back-to-back on Saturday. All those in L.A., and then they get 4 days off. April 9th, Lakers and Luka come to town. 3 games until Lakers-Luka. I mean, it like a blur. I remember I was in Kroger when we were talking about this Lakers-Luka game, and now it's 3 games away.
It's 3 games away. Blake Elliott will be there representing Blake Elliott, representing the Fan After Dark, representing 105 through the Fan, and he will be giving us live updates from the arena.
Yeah. Maybe I'll find Fire Nico guy. I'll get him on.
Yeah, please do, and say how long you gonna milk this thing.
And
for.
That's probably gonna be a great game for because Luka in the building. Oh yeah.
Well, he'll get drowned out then. I mean, everybody and their brother's gonna be screaming Fire Nico.
Yeah. But guys that we don't want to fire, the Dallas Stars, who have been on fire. Yeah, Gacky Kev, what you got for us on the updates of your Blazing Stars?
6 straight for the Dallas Stars. They're absolutely on a tear, taking care of
hottest team in the NHL.
I can't say off the top of my head.
Just say it. No. It's either yes or no.
Statistically, I don't know.
Kevin,
yes.
My God, I swear to God,
I'm not going to misinform the Tolos.
Okay. All right.
Technically speaking.
Kevin, it's your opinion. Are they the hottest team in the NHL, yes or no?
Of course. Best looking guys on the ice.
All right.
Did I break this spell?
I'm glad you censored yourself right there. I also want to say Wyatt Johnson's goal the other night gave him back-to-back 30-goal seasons. Okay, Blake, is that easy to do? Well, guys that are 21 or younger that are active players that have given you back-to-back 30-goal seasons, tell me if these guys are good. Alex Ovechkin, pretty good.
Pretty good. About to make history.
Sidney Crosby, pretty good. My boy Malkin, don't know his first name. I'm going to assume he's pretty good. Connor McDavid, we all know for the Oilers, pretty good. Matthews, pretty good.
Austin Matthews.
What'd you say?
Austin Matthews.
Oh, don't tell me his team. Don't tell me the team.
Everybody hates him.
Everybody hates him?
Hates the team.
Winnipeg?
No.
Calgary?
No.
Minnesota Wild?
No.
Golden Knights.
Edmonton.
Maple Leafs.
There you go. First try.
Let's go. First try. Just edit out the rest.
First try. You guessed like 6 times.
And Patrick Lane. I think I got that one right.
What math are you guys doing?
And now, our boy Johnston, who joins an elite club, back-to-back 30-goal seasons under the age of 21.
I think the Cowboys just need to draft somebody with the first name Wyatt.
Might as well.
So we can have the Wyatt trio.
Langford, Johnston. 2 for 2.
Then the Mavericks and Cowboys. Get a Wyatt on your team.
How many brothers you know named Wyatt?
We got to find a Wyatt. I don't know.
They don't got to be Luka was our best player. He won a brother.
How many white boys you know hooping named Wyatt?
Well, the Mavs better find them.
877.
Is there a Wyatt in
the
NBA?
I mean, name me a Wyatt playing ball anywhere. Name me a.
I mean, you're gonna find one in college.
Well, yeah, you'll find one at Wyoming. I mean,
Villanova.
Like, here we go. There have been a few players named Wyatt, most notably Khalif Wyatt, born in 1991.
Doesn't count.
No, that doesn't count.
Nope.
Why not?
Count.
First name.
No, we need first name.
It's a lot of last name.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Wyatt Walker in the G League.
Exactly.
That's my brother.
No one's got time for him. From the 903, Nico would trade him away anyway. Also, 2. You guys were talking about Evan's vacuum, which I asked, is that the same one that people talk about?
The money laundering.
Yeah.
Yes. How are they selling business?
So 817, yes, it is. My dad was a former Fed investigator and wondered the same. He checked them. They're clean. They repair a lot of older vacuums your grandma won't let go.
No, that is true. I've heard they do restoration of vacuums, and apparently it's quite expensive. Or maybe not necessarily there, but just restoration of vacuums is not a cheap process.
No, because who's doing it? You know, outside of our boy Evan, ain't nobody else
they can
doing
monopolize
it.
that easily.
AI can't do that yet, so that's a
Did you hear AI bought Twitter?
Yeah, XAI.
Mm-hmm.
Bought it for $33 billion.
How does AI have money? I have a lot of questions about that.
It's Elon, baby. It's Elon.
Okay, what are some players' names that start with Y at the NBA? Top 5 cartoon characters. You heard me right.
Come on.
Top 5 cartoon characters of all time. Will we know anybody on Fred's list? Will Fred know anybody on my list? Stay tuned to find out.
Through your phone, smart speaker, or more.
True that you've got to forget something else to remember that Uber Eats has groceries.
No, that's absurd. Hey, remember when you used to be Pepper Lady? Pepper Lady?
Wasn't it Cinnamon Sisters?
Basil Baby.
Saffron Squad?
Nutmeg Maidens?
Pre-curb?
No.
Nutmeg Maidens.
I just said that. Was it Spice Girls?
Doesn't sound right.
Was it Saffron Squad?
Not a pocket cost. They only get paid when you win. Frankel and Frankel D go-to for car and truck record attorneys in Dallas.
This is easily the hardest list I think we've ever done. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've never had so many honorable mentions. I've never had
I don't believe that because every show.
mentions.
I tried to shy away from them, but if Blake's still in my mouth.
No, you can have them because I am no one to judge in this one.
Do we really have a top 10, Blake?
I have a top 10. Every time I did one, I was like, oh, but there's one that's even better. And then there's an older one, and there's a newer one. And cartoons were peak, and I think I grew up in a very good era of cartoons. Not saying cartoons in your era weren't great, but like cartoons nowadays stink. Like I was the last generation of good cartoons, Cartoon Network, even Disney Channel, Disney XD, Nickelodeon. Like they were staples that were still pumping out that I think kids 20 years from now should watch. At least I have some adult cartoons on here. I guess one's like a middle-aged one and one's an adult cartoon, I guess you could say. But the rest are just staples.
Family Guy.
So, Family Guy Stewie. One of my best lists. Best lists.
Okay. I mean,
but there are a lot of honorable mentions. And if either of you guys say, hey, Blake, that should have been at number 2, 3, or 4, 5, I have no argument. This list is in no order. It's just bangers.
Mine's Supreme, so I mean, I don't, like I said, I'll probably recognize
He-Man,
two or three.
I will know 2 of them.
He-Man's on my honorable mention. Honorable mention.
Popeye the Sailor.
Mention. I wasn't a big Popeye cartoon guy.
I loved when he threw spinach in his
My
mouth.
number 5, Beavis and Butthead.
Solid.
Beavis.
I probably
and
won't have any
Butthead.
pushback because there's so many good cartoons.
Because I mean, this is an elite list.
It is. I like Beavis and Butthead.
Beavis and Butthead, absolutely phenomenal. Ahead of their time. I mean, if you weren't laughing at Beavis and Butthead, I don't know what to tell you. So that's my number 5, Beavis and Butthead.
Okay. So for my number 5, we'll go ahead and give an honorable mention right here because I got a bunch. Codename Kids Next Door, which I believe was on Cartoon Network, where they're in the treehouse. They get all the different characters with different numbers that are assigned to them.
Put an honorable mention. Go ahead.
Just a great flick that I don't even know if the characters really talked. I can't remember. It was just a peak show. But my actual number 5, you're actually going to know this one, Fred. Give me Pinky and the Brain.
I know Pinky and the Brain.
Give me Pinky and the Brain. Tom and Jerry-esque, if you will, for how they interact. I just thought their back and forth was hilarious. Give me that at number 5, and I feel very confident about that at number 5.
I like that. Solid choice by you. Pinky and the Brain.
All right, so I'm going to start off with, I'm going to do the same thing. One honorable mention per
Go ahead.
Per one. So starting with my honorable mention, my first honorable mention, my Fairly Odd Parents.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
My number 5 is Teen Titans, and this could be argued a lot of different ways because there's a lot of different versions.
Teen Titan Go.
I'm fine with all of them. My preferred one was Teen Titan Go.
What channel is this on?
That's a Cartoon Network.
Cartoon Network.
Cartoon Network special.
You've seen the characters in there. The short green guy.
What's it called?
Old girl that's
Teen
purple.
Titan Go.
Teen Titan Go.
Violet? Am I getting that right? Storm? I think it's Violet. It's Beast Boy.
Star something.
Star. Oh my gosh. We're gonna get roasted for this. It is Star. It's Beast Boy, Star Girl, Starstruck.
Stardust.
Teen Titan Go.
So there's like the miniature versions of them, which was a really popular one, and then there's also like just them grown out and stuff.
Okay.
Like that.
All right.
Okay. Who's turn? You're 4.
Yeah. So my number 4 is Scooby-Doo.
Nice.
Solid. Okay.
For a guy that does not like scary movies, I really enjoyed Scooby-Doo.
Well, you qualify them as being scary?
When I was a child, yeah. I was like,
who's
oh,
under the
I'm being
mask?
risky. I could get scared here. Yeah,
Well, I
that was
got
kind of my
away
whole
with
thought
it if it would
process.
have been for you measly kids.
Shout out to the Scooby-Doo movie. Maybe one of the best animation to
live action.
I think the one episode where because every episode they unmask the character, right?
There you go.
I think they've got
Why
one
are you
episode.
spoiling it, Kevin?
My bad. I think they got one episode out there where the I guess the ghost or whatever isn't like a mask and it's like a legit ghost. I think that one shook me to my core.
Is there more than what you said? There is more than one Teen Titan.
Yeah, there's a many.
So I got to check in with my son for stuff like this. I said, "What you know about Teen Titan Go?" Banger, both of them.
Yep.
Yeah, there's like I said, there's a couple of different Teen Titans
fair enough.
iterations out there.
I mean, we're getting text in that I forgot to add that are all W's.
I'm not looking yet.
I need to stop looking because it's going to deter me. That's a good call. My number 4, Freddie, not locked in.
No, hold on. I'm trying to tell my son to tune in so he can report back.
Yes,
because he's
going
to know what you guys know better than I do.
Yeah, just tell him to turn on the Odyssey app. Tell him to fire up the YouTube.
I just told him tune into Dallas Fan Cam on YouTube.
Okay, number 4. Give me Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Absolute banger video game, TV show. Shout out to the washer and dryer. Shout out to all the. I mean, it's a show where there's literally like 50 characters you can start following, and it's just all these weird shapes and stuff that are imaginary friends that they're taking care of. That's all it is. It's a foster home.
Okay.
So, great show.
Okay.
That was my honorable mention. My actual number 4, Family Guy. I don't think I need to speak long about that. You can throw it on. It's great background, great laughter. And every episode, even if you've seen it, you're going to chuckle. If you don't chuckle, I would.
No, you're going to laugh. You're going to laugh. I haven't watched Family Guy in forever.
I don't think anybody's running to it, but if it's on, you're gonna let out a little chuckle.
Yeah. It was. I don't know if it's as funny now as it used to be, because them early ones were. Plus, it was just.
It's just the jokes that catch you off guard. Like, oh, he really said that.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. My number 4, and neither one of you are gonna have any idea. Now, your Daddy Walker will probably know this one. Ren and Stimpy.
I know Ren and Stimpy. A little orange and red.
Heard of it.
Orange and red, right?
Orange and red.
Like the characters. I think I'm thinking of the right person. Ren and Stimpy. I know exactly.
Ren and Stimpy were on
orange and red.
Look at them right now. Yeah. I've seen this.
Yeah.
I've seen this.
Am I not looking at the right thing?
Ren and Stimpy. The thing. It was just vile.
Yes.
Some of the stuff they did, and the voices.
Yes.
Were what really were next level for me on Ren and Stimpy.
Ren and Stimpy's a great.
Ren, you stupid booger picking idiot was one of the go-to lines from Ren and Stimpy. My number 3, Doug.
Now that one,
Doug.
I know a little bit about, but I don't remember it
OG.
being funny. Was it like on the super funny side? Was that it?
Doug was just Doug. Like he was just there was some. He was a lovable loser. Doug.
Okay.
If you know, you know. Okay?
I'm not going to comment too much because I haven't seen that many episodes. I've seen like half of one, but it didn't draw me in.
Because you weren't ready for it.
I wasn't.
Okay? You weren't ready for Doug. Doug. You might not have been able to. Fred, I'm going
to test you. Do you know Doug's real government name on the show? Because I just saw it and it's iconic.
I don't remember now.
Douglas Yancey Funny.
Now I'll watch it now. No Caillou? No Caillou on your list?
It kind of looks like a Caillou.
Isn't that how the song goes?
Yeah, I know Fred.
Have you never heard
no
of
clue
Caillou?
what a Caillou is?
I don't know.
You don't even know? I mean, he's bald.
Well, he has a hair. It's kind of like Charlie Brown.
I mean, I have.
It's kind of like Charlie Brown.
I don't know. I have no idea who that is.
Caillou, iconic.
But Doug, and I'll tell you what, Doug was one of those. It was an early Nickelodeon cartoon. It came on after one of my honorable mentions, Rugrats. All right, if you know, you know. Rugrats
was cool. It was cool. What was the other one with it? What was Rugrats when they were like teenagers? What was that?
I don't know because I stopped watching it after.
No, Rugrats was good. But they had a teenager version too. I think was.
Did they?
I feel like it had something to do with a skateboard. I remember.
It's just called All Grown Up. Apparently,
see,
that's it.
You can
maybe it wasn't good. I don't remember. There's a lot of cartoons that are kind of in that ilk.
But no, that was no. I was a bit so Doug. But no, me and my cousin used to watch. You had, like I said, when you had Nickelodeon, there was Doug. There was Rugrats, and then I want to say You Can't Do That on Television was on Nickelodeon as well. But I digress.
Okay, my number 3, honorable mention, one of the GOATs as far as forming, I think, every young man's identity of wanting to be imaginative with their head and with monsters. Give me Ben 10 at number 3 for hitting that watch and having a different character come out.
Ben 10, I've heard of that. What's his deal?
So he has a little watch that's green and black, and he would twist it to unlock certain characters, if you will. And when he would hit it, his character would come to life and help him fight whatever battle he's in.
Big time sellers on the for kids. They would always want to buy the watch.
Yeah, so they sold the watch in real life, and obviously every little kid wanted one. And you gotta turn the text line off in this. People are lighting it up.
They're going insane. They're going insane.
And then
on the cartoons.
Yeah, I literally turned it off because we'll just be reading the text line the whole time. My actual number 3, SpongeBob. Might be saying, Blake, is it not higher? But I have 2 that I prefer more, but it is number 3 for me.
Not a bad choice.
Probably the GOAT of cartoons as far as popularity, but for me, love it every time.
SpongeBob and Plankton are definitely on my...
But it's not 1-2 for me.
All right.
It's not 1-2.
Okay. I respect it. I will respect it. My number 3. Now, I do have to ask, can I just do Looney Tunes as a whole, or do I need... Okay.
Nope.
Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner.
Solid.
That's mine. But
no complaints.
Because the problem
all of Looney Tunes, I always wanted to watch Looney Tunes.
I mean, here's the thing. I wouldn't hate you for it. I mean, unless you decide Bugs Bunny's your number one. All right.
Is Elmer Fudd the one?
Elmer Fudd.
Yeah.
Elmer Fudd.
Is that
I
who's
want to
always
get that
trying
Wasky Wabbit. Yeah, I mean, he's always
Is
trying
he the
to
one
kill.
with the gun?
He's the one with the gun. Elmer Fudd.
Wait, can you give me another Elmer trying to find Bug?
That Wasky Wabbit. I mean, look. You know what?
What's the pig's name? The pig was funny.
It's Porky. Porky Pig. Come on.
The Porky just.
You know what? Looney Tunes number 3. Okay.
Right.
You know what? Because I mean, if you're gonna, you can't.
Sometimes they mash together.
Well, they're all tremendous together. I mean, you can't go wrong. Daffy Duck, who's one of my honorable mentions. And Daffy Duck was a savage.
This game's coming down to the wire, Fred.
He was underrated.
Oh, wildly.
Everybody was staring at Bugs Bunny, but Daffy Duck.
You know what? Daffy Duck was the Scottie Pippen to Bugs Bunny's Michael Jordan.
I agree.
We might be seeing a Denver Nuggets
a little bit of an
winner.
upset. Yeah, no, absolutely.
My honorable mention to go along with that is Kick Patowski.
Nice.
No idea what that
That's a throwback even for me. That just brought my brain back. Good pull,
Xavier. Ben 10 was a banger.
I'm telling you, man. Ben 10 was. You weren't missing an episode for what new character he was going to pull out.
That's
was
interesting.
all
What
kinds
channel
of
was it on?
Cartoon Network.
Yeah, that was a Cartoon
Network.
Okay.
And see, the thing is, when I was growing up, computers were still like really big as far as computer games.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! And they had the CartoonNetwork.com where all the shows you were playing, you could you could play the computer game.
That was huge.
Oh, you didn't. A phone? No. PS3? No. Computer games? CartoonNetwork.com?
These kids nowadays, they're born on and they're raised on iPads. No. It was cartoons for us.
The best computer game ever that was a recreation was my gym monkey. My partner's a gym monkey. How does that? Do you know what I'm talking about, Kevin?
Mine was Pop Tropica.
Pop Tropica was the best computer. We're gonna have to do that. Top 5 computer games. That's number 1, easily is Pop Tropica.
People would buy books to get good at that game.
Literally, like physical books reading how to do it.
I'm intrigued by this.
So my honorable mention to go with my number 2.
We just at the same time.
You did.
In harmony.
Because I know somebody on the text line is going to berate us if we don't bring it up. So I'm going to do it. My honorable mention, because this wasn't a show directed towards me, regular show. My number 2, SpongeBob.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Fair enough. I ain't mad at you for that. All right, what's your number 2?
Okay, my number 2, let's throw another honorable mention out there. Let's go with the Grim Adventures of Bill and Mandy. Shout out to the Grim Reaper. Shout out to Bill's big old nose. And shout out to Mandy being a G. Just 3 characters carrying the show. We also got the old man sitting in the rocker. The show has like 2 settings and somehow carried so many episodes of just them being clean. It kind of goes right in with Courage the Cowardly Dog. I feel like those kind of interloop into similar cartoons. You can kind of couple them together. But my actual number 2, and if we're talking strictly cartoons, no adult stuff, just for kids, the best cartoon in Blake's humble opinion that I related to the most, that I enjoyed, longevity in episodes, character development, give me Fairly Odd Parents. And number 2 is Blake's go-to cartoon. There is one that's ahead of it, but we're talking strictly cartoons.
Yeah.
Fairly Odd Parents takes the crown.
All right. My number 2, Fred Flintstone. The Flintstones.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
A little bit of bias.
I mean, he's only one of the greatest cartoon characters of all time. Fred Flintstone. Wilma, fine for her age. All right. Let's call it what it is.
How old was she in the show?
Who, Fred?
No, she.
He just said how old is she in the show? Who, Fred?
I started with how old was he? I mean, how old was she? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yet eats his age. And then my number 1.
Not helping himself.
I don't care anymore. It's 11:35. Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny, the absolute GOAT. You're not going to convince me otherwise. There was nothing Bugs Bunny couldn't do.
43 years old.
Perfect.
There you go. That's right up my alley. Bugs Bunny, number 1, not even close.
Okay, I'm just gonna run through these. I got a couple honorable mentions.
I know
that
you
didn't
do.
get mentioned.
We know you
Nobody
do.
has said that I think should have made maybe somebody's top 5, at least honorable mentions. So I'll name them. Dexter's Laboratory, which was very close to my number 5. I thought it's an amazing flick. I got on there as well Animaniacs. If we're talking Looney Tunes,
It's a good one.
Animaniacs was my preference over Looney Tunes. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Shout out Aang. I thought that was a great flick, learning all the different elements. Last honorable mention, one of the more popular shows did crossovers on Nickelodeon with Fairly Odd Parents, Jimmy Neutron, who I'm surprised nobody said. No Sheen and Carl Love. Carl. But my number one, the best cartoon ever created. I've got memorabilia all around my house. I've got clothing.
I already know which one you're going with here. I already know where you're going with this one.
Rick Sanchez and Morty for Rick and Morty.
There you
At
go.
number one is the best cartoon ever created.
All right. Well, that leaves it to me. My last honorable mention is going to be... I'll have two because one of them y'all aren't going to know anything about. Beyblades. I was big on Beyblades.
Shout out Beyblades.
That was really my only anime show that I watched.
Is that an honorable mention?
I got a question for you, Cac.
Yep.
Are we counting Yu-Gi-Oh?
I never watched Yu-Gi-Oh.
But
I
I'm
was
saying we
never
count it as a cartoon.
I didn't know it had a cartoon. So,
See, I don't know. I just
there
don't
you
know
go.
if it falls in the cartoon base. If Yu-Gi-Oh falls, it's in my top 5. It's number 2.
Well, Pokemon falls in there.
Then we're throwing Yu-Gi-Oh in there.
Okay.
That's if you want entry level anime cartoon, you watch Yu-Gi-Oh. Okay, continue, sir.
And then another one for me, my number one of all time, Gravity Falls.
Oh, I was on a Gravity Falls kick first 2-3 seasons, fell off a little bit for me, but I got nothing but good things to say about Gravity Falls. So that's a newer cartoon coming into the round, 2015-ish?
Yeah, something like that. They didn't have enough seasons, but it was definitely something to keep up with because it was like a mystery.
Yeah.
And the shows actually followed chronologically. Oh, that was not a word.
Chronologically?
Yeah, that word. So it actually kind of made sense to actually keep up. It's kind of like appointment television for a child.
Okay.
Cronenberg. I'll see if anybody gets that reference when I say the word Cronenberg. That's it. That's all I got.
The Simpsons is on my honorable mention. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
That's a
is
great
on
one.
my
It's a great one.
honorable mention. Arthur is on my honorable mention.
Phineas and Ferb.
Phineas
honorable
and
mention.
Ferb. What an omission.
Nobody mentioned the Boondocks.
No, that's a great one. See,
Nobody mentioned the Boondocks.
I don't know. Sometimes when I think of cartoon and animated, I blend the line, but I don't really think of it as cartoonish. Because what they're talking about in there.
I mean, it's very much an adult show. And then the one we forgot about with our guy, Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
With Meatball?
With Boy Meatwad. A.K.A. Lucius.
Johnny Test.
Johnny Test, Johnny Bravo.
Yeah. Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Forgot that as
Powder
well.
Puff Girls? Nobody?
Kim Possible.
Kim Possible.
There you go. Couple. Let's see.
Said
What
Hey
else.
Arnold. Recess.
Yeah.
You didn't watch Recess or Hey Arnold? That's like your time zone.
Nobody named South Park. I'm kind of surprised neither of y'all.
South Park.
I never got into
Probably
it.
because I was always super stoned when I watched it, so
American Dad?
I don't remember watching it.
American Dad.
Oh, I hot take, baby. Funnier than the hell's that show?
Family Guys. We'll
Family
read
Guy.
your guys' text, give you caught up on what's happening in the next day of DFW Sports.
Final
and
segment.
Close us out in the final segment till midnight.
Coming up Wednesday morning on Sean and RJ did the...
Uber Eats has Lola V products? I gotta remember that.
Well, you know, they say in order to remember something, you have to forget something else. Okay, now that is a very cute haircut. That's like a little shag. I've never seen it before. Well, I mean, of course you have. It's the Rachel. Oh, is that your name? No, I mean, like your name. No, I'm Jen. Your name's Jen. Right, but I just mean like this is your haircut. But that's hair on your head. I'm not saying this is your hair. Okay.
for new Chevys than anyone, all priced to sell. Silverado, Tahoe, Blazers, Malibus, Equinox, and more. Visit ClassicChevrolet.com. This is Texas. This is Classic Chevrolet. Together, let's drive, relax, enjoy the difference. Based on new Chevy registrations 2023 and 2024.
We got ourselves a barn burner here in Denver as Minnesota has clawed their way back and lead by 4, 121-117 with 2:29 left to go in the overtime period.
You want to hear Jokic's stat line in this game?
I do.
Nikolai Jokic in this game against the Timberwolves has 45 minutes played, 5 fouls, 4 turnovers. But let me give you the stuff you're really here for. 51 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists. Alexander Walker had another one?
No, that was Ant.
Wow.
That was Ant. What a shot. What a shot.
Timberwolves feeling good.
They are.
This is a big.
It's a big
Don't even
win.
worry about the standings. Morale-wise, getting a win in Denver in overtime, you're feeling.
Especially when you were down 10 mid to late fourth quarter. So
it's almost like they play better when Gobert fouls out. But neither here nor there. Let's read some of your guys' texts. We said the best cartoons of all time. I'm going to speed run through
real quick before you do that. We got to give a shout out and an RIP. Val Kilmer, RIP, died today. You may know him from this.
I didn't think you had it in you.
I'm your huckleberry.
Okay, that's all you're going to get. Look, legendary performance in Tombstone, legendary performance in Heat.
And in Batman.
He was Batman. So many good Val Kilmer movies. Tell you what, he was phenomenal as Jim Morrison in The Doors. I'm telling you right now, he was in Top Gun, the original, not the hell. He might have been in the redo.
He was in the redo, but he wasn't in the redo.
Right. And then if you haven't, check out his documentary from a couple years ago, like I Am Val or something like that. Fun fact. Okay, just we're on the same page here. You guys have both seen The Matrix?
Yes.
Okay. You haven't seen The Matrix?
No, it's one of those movies I got to get to.
Wow. Okay, so you do know that Keanu Reeves is in The Matrix, though, right?
I'm aware.
And you do know that Lawrence Fishburne is Morpheus.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, so he's kind of he's the other main character besides that finds the one, a.k.a. Neo. Did you know that they originally wanted Will Smith to be Neo? He turned it down so he could continue to film Wild Wild West. That's a whole nother story for another show. And Val Kilmer was going to be Morpheus if they went with Will Smith. So just a little cinema trivia there for you. But
Big
R.I.P.
missed bucket by Peyton Watson. R.I.P.
Val Kilmer.
Man. May his soul rest in peace.
And again,
was that not the clip you were wanting, by the way?
It was, and I think
it was a little slow.
It was a little slow, and there was another one, and I'm getting that confused with the other. There's another line in that movie where the guy talks about him being in his prime, and of course he's playing. Oh God, who's he?
Jokic, Trey Ball.
It's not Wyatt Earp. I can't think of who. Doc Holliday. And, of course, he's got tuberculosis the entire movie. Yeah. He's a mess.
123-120, Minnesota up, minute 15 in Denver in overtime.
Oh, The Saint. Also another great movie. So, yeah. 806, WTF, Val Kilmer. I'm not on social media. And I've been driving all day. Best Batman ever after Christian Bale. It's a ballsy choice right there.
Wow.
I will say that.
Big time bucket by Anthony Edwards. The Timberwolves lead by 5 as the
Aaron Gordon.
Just in his mouth.
Gordon.
What a game.
What?
He just pulled up like he was Steph Curry hit 9 threes.
Man, Aaron Gordon is that guy. I'm a huge Aaron Gordon fan.
5 seconds in the shot clock. Aaron Gordon dribbles down, just hits a 3 in somebody's face. 2-point game. Minnesota is leading. Alexander Walker tries another 3. He hit one early with a minute left. So Denver's going to try it. It's down 2, under 40 seconds left. We'll let you know who wins that game. Read your guys' texts. How you feeling about going to midnight? This is now day 2 of this. How does it sit with you? And Jokic misses the game time bucket with 54 points.
How could I what?
How does but a steal?
Oh, Christian Brown, go baby! There we go, my
lazy
boy.
pass.
There you go. What are we doing? Oh, they're giving the ball. I was gonna say, call a timeout. Call a
They were all over the
timeout. Let's get this.
What
let's
a
get
lazy
this
pass with 20 seconds
super
left.
lazy pass.
Throwing it
Super
straight in the
lazy
air.
pass. Shout out to the Jayhawk, Christian Braun. That's back when Bill Self used it.
Michael Malone is going to rip his hair out. He's like, oh,
Seriously.
timeout.
Back when Bill knew how to recruit still.
And the Timberwolves are doing this with no Rudy Gobert, who's been fouled out since the fourth quarter, and the Denver Nuggets are doing it without Jamal Murray for the entire game. And I want to say, no, MPJ, I was going to say, is MPJ just not playing? He's just on the bench, it seems like.
Yeah, that's a silly cross-court pass.
MPJ hasn't played, so no Michael Porter Jr. and no Jamal Murray. The Denver Nuggets, the undermanned Nuggets, are trying to take down the Timberwolves. They're down to 12 seconds left. They have the ball. Jokic, 54, 10, and 8.
What's our boy Aaron Gordon got?
Aaron Gordon, 41 minutes. He's giving you 24 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists.
I was going to say, Braun's got, 18 or 20?
Braun's got 18 with 12 rebounds. He leads the team in rebounds.
Okay. He's just, I'd say, glue guy.
I mean, the fact you got two guys out and you can still put Russell Westbrook and Peyton Watson out there now, they're not the offensive acumen as far as shooting of MPJ and Jamal, but you're still getting guys that can compete, play defense. So I think the Denver Nuggets are a team. They're 7 deep. Let's be honest. The guys that are playing right now, plus MPJ and Jamal, is the only guys playing in the playoff series.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna have to throw a Saric or DeAndre Jordan in to give Jokic some burn every once in a while, but. I mean, Jalen Pickett's got 32 minutes tonight, and he's going to probably pick up some minutes.
What's the one kid's name? Strother,
yeah. And he is, I want to say, he's not playing right now.
He's hurt,
He's hurt with the left knee sprain.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So Strother hasn't played
I was going to say, he's been out for about, 2 or 3 weeks?
He hasn't played since March 2nd.
Okay, yeah. Yes, he's been out for
and they
a minute.
need him.
No,
he's Jamal out. That's like
he's a value, exactly, because like you said, this is not a deep team by any means.
Russell Westbrook's having to play all the guard minutes.
Which, hey, say what you want. That's one thing about Russell.
Jokic will be going for the win, and he makes it. Or not the win, the tie.
Going for the tie.
Tied up 125
all. To double OT?
Or Anthony Edwards said he don't do overtime. That's his quote. Remember, I don't do overtime.
Yeah, well,
so either he's going to go to double OT or he's going to take the win. Okay, some of you guys.
Come on, you got Anthony Edwards trying to stop Jokic. I mean, what are we doing here, people?
Okay,
what are we doing here?
Number 5, Space goes coast to coast.
Oh yeah,
Dexter's Laboratory.
Solid.
SpongeBob, Rugrats, Hey Arnold, Doug, South Park. If you're going to look it up, Fred, it's called Teen Titans Go. Thunder the Barbarian. Tokyo Ghoul, Foster's Home, Rick and Morty, King of the Hill. King of the Hill, that's the first mention.
Yeah.
Starfire, someone said. Okay. Speedy Gonzalez.
Okay.
BoJack Horseman. Animaniacs, Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Mention that.
You Idiot, in all quotes.
Now, is that a show or is that are they referring to us?
I think it was a quote that we said.
Yeah.
Oh, he's talking about Ren and Stimpy.
Yep.
He's talking about Ren and Stimpy.
Someone said the adult Caillou is out of control.
56 for Nikola Jokic, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And
he is screaming on the side. Like, he wants this win bad.
Yeah, he does.
The adult Caillou is out of control, apparently terrorizing his dad in the whole cartoon. Peanuts, Mighty Heroes. Ed, and Eddie. They got no shout-outs.
No.
Shout out to Plank.
No.
Squidbillies? I don't think I've heard of that one.
I've heard of Squidbillies. I don't know anything about
Johnny
it.
Quest, Hanna Barbera, Laugh Olympics. What about Laffy? Was it Laffy? Lazy Town. Lazy Town. That was like a trip. You know what that is? Look up Lazy Town in your off time. It's kind of a trip. It kind of feels like you're on psychedelics watching that show.
Lazy
That's
Town.
what Courage the Cowardly Dog made me feel like.
Yes, that's
Didn't like it.
Yeah, so Lazy Town's an interesting one. Someone said Digimon over Pokemon, which I think I might agree with. Digimon, heavily underrated. And of course, our TV lags with 1 second left. The game winner, that's off. Yeah. As soon as left us, we're lagging, and I can see that's off.
Seriously.
Nikhil Alexander-Walker tried to take some big-time shots late in the game. I mean, not getting the ball up to Ant.
No.
Okay, any closing words? There's a bunch of shows. I guess you guys are the best.
Somebody said, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? I didn't know that was actually a cartoon. I thought that was just a live-action show, but what do I know? And then, obviously, somebody was loving up yours, Pinky in the Brain.
Let's go, Pinky in the Brain.
And then Tiny Toon Adventures. That was a solid show as well. And then we also forgot DuckTales, which was also
a successful
a goated classic.
Successful Tank Top Tuesday.
I'll tell you what, Tank Top Tuesday went off without a hitch. Shout out to all three of us for just being in shape and just being good looking guys.
I try.
Hey man, you're doing the best.
Dallas fan cam. If you missed it, you missed it.
Shame on you. We will only get bigger as this show goes on and is with each passing Tuesday. Great stuff as always from the one, the only Mr. Khaki Kevin. We'll see you when we see you. Once again, another flawless performance from the one, the only Mr. Blake Elliott. And for all you Tolos and Fatties out there, Rangers 11:40 tomorrow. We'll see you then. Good night. God bless.
Text away your thoughts to the guys right now on the truck.